Alfaro moves to center field tonight. Chad Tracy has great numbers against Aaron Cook, a .543 average. Augie Ojeda is in the 8-hole, and then Yusmeiro Petit. And Aaron Cook has just been outstanding since May 1st. 7-2 record, George. Here's the Fidelity scouting report.
His 29 wins at Coors Field, second behind Jason Jennings with 31. His fastball, 88-93. You'll see the sink to both sides of the plate and the ability to run it hard in on left-handed hitters like Stephen Drew that'll lead the ball game off. Slider has become a little more prevalent for Aaron Cook in his win streak, 78 to 84 miles an hour, and then the changeup is there as his third best pitch.
Let's take a look at the gloves tonight. It's the same lineup defensively as last night. Carlos Gonzalez is in left, Dexter Fowler in center, Brad Hopp in right, Ian Stewart at third, Troy Tulowitzki and Clint Barmas up the middle, Todd Helton at first, and Chris Iannetta will catch Aaron Cook. Game 2 of the 3-game set. Tomorrow, obviously, an afternoon affair, and then the Washington Nationals come to town for 3 ball games. The rain delay officially will be 25 minutes. Last night there was a 22-minute rain delay, and tonight almost virtually the same situation. A 25-minute rain delay, and Stephen Drew will step up first to face Aaron Cook. I look at Drew's average at 243, Fraser, and I say, what's going on here? This guy's got too good a swing to be hitting 243.
Well, a lot of struggles have happened. That's what it is. I mean, anytime you get into a lineup, and he's being asked to lead off now, typically that's not his spot. Lopez has led off 68 ball games for this team this year. What's around you? What's protecting you? Who's behind you? How many fastballs are you getting to hit? 291, the big year, 21 home runs, 67 RBIs for Drew.
This is out of play down the left field line.
Water will be a factor when they dump the tarp out into left field right behind Troy Tulowitzki and into that area. So you get a line drive there. The ball could have a little scoot to it. A lot of water dumped here again. That was right field, right down the right field line. Still puddles around the ballpark.
Still amazes me how quickly it does drain. This ball is popped up. Tulowitzki going back right where they dump all that water. Carlos Gonzalez, just in case, was right behind him.
Let's look at our Bird Automotive keys to this ball game. I think first and foremost, Petit and Cook. Those are the two guys. If Cook's defense is on and Petit has done anything like he has done in his rehab starts, 0-1, 680, earned run average, and over 5 starts at the AAA level. Defense will play a big role in this, and I think the Arizona bullpen will be involved in this game and could be very early. So to try to hold down this Rockies offense.
And the first pitch is in there for a strike on Alex Romero. Romero was having a great year in AAA. That's all well and good, but you want to be able to play in the big leagues, and he rips a base hit up the middle. So Romero with a 1-out single.
4th hit he's gotten on the season, 4 for 12 now. Cook's numbers at Coors Field, 29 and 24 this year, 3 and 1.
All time he's 60 and 47 now. He's the winningest pitcher in Rockies history. A couple of starts ago he passed Jason Jennings. 1 on, and Justin Upton will come up. Upton in last night's ball game held hitless. He's had a big first half, but on this road trip he's 2 for 17. It began in Cincinnati. And the Rockies just assume keep him quiet. That pitch runs inside. Ball 1 on Upton.
Cook 5 and 4 in his career. Earned run average fairly high, 553 versus the Diamondbacks. This year, is that a start? That opening day start wasn't very pretty. 2 1/3, 7 hits, 6 runs, a walk and 2 strikeouts. But again, Aaron Cook in 08 gave up 13 home runs in 211 innings. He's given up 12 home runs in 98 so far this year. 7 of those came early in this season. So things have obviously gotten much better for Aaron Cook. How about that? 1-1, 7-11 earned run average in 42 innings pitched over there. And then since then, he's gone 7-2 with a 260. That is impressive.
2-0, and it's chopped to short. Tulowitzki will get the out at first base.
Yeah, I think smart play.
Yep.
He gave a little bit of a glance over to Clint Barmas at second base, but Romero runs well enough that you're not going to take that gamble and end up first and second. Nobody out. Here's the high hop coming in. You can see Barmas getting prepared for it. Tulowitzki just gave him a glance before he went to first base to assure himself of the out.
It must be nice to have the kind of sinker that 2-0 count. Hitters sitting dead red, and you have so much bite on it, you get one of those chopped off ground balls.
Yeah, short sinkers. I mean, that's the nice part about it. When you do have one of those sinkers, you can shorten up a lot of innings. Reduced pitch counts. It's pretty obvious. You look at the pitch counts over starts for Aaron Cook and for Jason Marquis, the average much better.
So Mark Reynolds at the plate, and boy was he ever vocal after the ball game last night. He said, among other things, he said, we look like the bad news Bears. They made 3 errors last night. Here's the 1-0. That's in there, 1-1.
Well,
it's to the point where
yeah,
well, it's to the point where stuff's got to change. You can give all the rah-rah speeches you want and have all the team meetings you want and yell at guys, but guys have to give a darn. I'll clean that up a little bit. I don't really see it. I know I care. I'm out there busting my tail every night trying to win. Physical errors are fine. But guys loafing, guys not being where they're supposed to be, or guys giving up on at-bats, it's not acceptable at any level. I don't want to say guys are packing it in, but it sure seems like it, and it ticks me off. Again, I'm cleaning up some of the language in that. You know, the Diamondbacks, 18 games beneath 500. They thought they'd compete for a division title.
20 games out of first place, too, and they lost the anchor of that rotation, Brandon Webb, after his first start against the Rockies with shoulder problems, and things have gone downhill since. Bob Melvin was fired. A.J. Hinch put in as the manager, given a 3-year contract through 2012 to manage this ball club.
2 outs, 2-2. Romero at second. And 3-2. Miguel Montero, who bats from the left side, is on deck. Aaron Cook has his dad here this weekend. And it is chopped foul. Rockies with the win yesterday. They improved to 13-19 against the West. They're 14-8 against the Central, 4-6 against the East. Most of those losses in the West, obviously, to the Dodgers. Swung on and missed. Aaron Cook strikes out Mark Reynolds with Romero at second. So a solid start for the Rockies ace. We'll see the Rockies on offense when we come back. 24-9, and here's his Southwest batting order. Dexter Fowler up top, Clint Barmas in the 2-hole. Todd Helton will bat third. He had a hit last night, another double, wouldn't you know it? Brad Hopp, Troy Tulowitzki, Ian Stewart homered for the 15th time yesterday. Chris Iannetta, Carlos Gonzalez, and Aaron Cook. So here's Dexter against Yusmeiro Petit. George, just coming off the disabled list. He had a right shoulder strain. He's been on the DL for basically 2 months, and for what it's worth, in his rehab assignments in AAA, he was not real sharp.
No, he wasn't very sharp at all. I read those numbers earlier. 0-1, 689 earned run average. His career in the big leagues, 7-13, with an ERA of 5.81.
He's always bounced between the pen and the rotation. And he throws a changeup for a strike. It's 1-2. And this ball is a flare that Stephen Drew is going to run down. So Dexter's retired. That'll bring up Clint Barmas. Let's take a look at the Fidelity scouting report on Petit.
Well, you're going to see a fastball, 87-91. He's going to try to sink and cut the baseball. Curveball, 71-85. Now, this is where he likes to work the slider, both right and left-handers. He has to take advantage of a fastball up into the zone on the hands of right-handed hitters to have an opportunity to have any success. You see before the injury, 0-3, and an earned run average over 8.
Well, here's something. He pitched in 6 ball games prior to his injury, 3 starts. The Diamondbacks lost all 6 ball games he participated in. Now, I'm not suggesting it's all on his shoulders, but he's not had much success this year.
Well, he's been a part of some very big trades. The Mets traded him to Florida for Carlos Delgado. And infielder Mike Jacobs went in that trade. He came over to Arizona for Jorge Julio when they were looking for an arm back in 2007 with the Florida Marlins.
This ball ripped to deep left by Barmas, and it is gone. 10th home run of the year for Barmas, and the Rockies up 1-0 early.
The 9th home run in 25 innings that Petit has given up this year. That's a bunch of long balls, and Clint Barmas continues to add to his total to get to double figures now with 10. Let's look at it on the Hyundai cam right out of the wrist. You're going to see that slider just spin. He really worked off to the side of the baseball, stayed right up into the sweet spot for Clint Barmas. That upright stance, he hung it and made him pay for it.
Helton takes a strike. So Clint Barmas a year ago hit 11 home runs in 393 at bats in 107 games. Far fewer ABs so far this year, naturally. And he has 10 home runs. He's on pace, George. Again, you know, this is a club that may not have a guy hit 35-40, but they're going to have a bunch of guys 15 to 25.
No, they will have that. And I think that's the guy at the plate right now. Todd Helton sitting right now with 9 home runs. I think he'll end up with that 15 to 20. One more look at Clint Barmas' home run right down the left field line. This is the shot I like. You can follow this thing all the way down to the house and into the corner.
Guys have their moments, talking about Petit, but stuff-wise, George, the reason he's moved from long haul to the rotation, he's a little bit short.
He is a little bit short, and again, I don't know if it's been the arm injuries. I'll tell you what he reminds me. A line drive base hit for Todd Helton right at Justin Upton. He reminds me a little bit body-wise in his motion and his delivery and what he shows to the plate of a Livan Hernandez at this stage in his career, not back when Livan was this age.
So Brad Hopp steps up. Brad 0 for 4 last night, but if you saw his 4 ABs, you'd say, man, he hit the ball well in at least 3 of them. He hit a ball to the wall in center field, robbed of a hit by Augie Ojeda. He had some tilt on that swing. It's 0-1. Brad was trying to feed a souvenir to the third deck in right with that hat. There are enough people to put on a mad scramble up there. Another full house. Let's take a look at Arizona defensively. Romero's in left. Parra moves from left to center tonight. Chris Young out of there. Justin Upton at right. Reynolds, Drew. Ojeda at second tonight. Tracy at first. And Miguel Montero has become the everyday catcher with the back injury to Chris Snyder. Brad has faced Petit 6 times. He's 1 for 6. Helton's now 4 for 6 against Petit. 1 out, 1-0. Todd at first base. And Brad swings through that offering, and that's the second out. That'll bring up Tulowitzki.
A fastball at 88 miles an hour, and I guarantee you look at fastballs last night that were 92 to 97 miles an hour for Max Scherzer, and you see this a little bit below the speed of what you're normally used to, 88 miles an hour. Sometimes it takes that second time through to adjust for some batters. Obviously not Barmes or Helton.
Troy had a couple of hits last night, stabbed an 0 for 15 funk with a double to right center. And this ball on the ground is short. Drew flips to Ojeda. The Rockies are done in the first, but Clint Barmes made sure it was a fruitful opening frame on the 4th of July. He hits a bomb to left, and it's 1-0 Colorado.
Happy 4th, Drew and George. And you mentioned earlier that Gary Cook, Aaron Cook's dad, is in town this weekend as Montero pitched on the third. Nice play by Ian Stewart. He's been doing that all season. Gary Cook is here from Cincinnati. Made the trip to see Aaron, and he knew he was going to pitch here tonight. He was his coach when he was a little leaguer. Interesting thing about Aaron Cook, he didn't start playing baseball. He started playing softball, co-ed softball at the local YMCA in Hamilton, Ohio, when he was only 5 years old. Then he moved up and he played T-ball and Little League. And his dad coached his AAU team known as the Cincinnati Knuckles. It was the greater Cincinnati area team. And a teammate of Aaron Cook's, Kevin Youkilis, who also went to high school in Hamilton, Ohio at Sycamore High. Aaron went to Hamilton High, so they've seen each other all through their years coming up to the big leagues. But how about that team, guys?
There's another program George and I are familiar with. They play in Connie Mack level, 15, 16-year-olds that the Larkins played for, the Griffeys played for, called the Midland Redskins. It's out of Cincinnati, and they, year in and year out, as this is fouled off by Parra, 1-2 count. George, they are loaded.
They are very loaded. They recruit all over the state, actually outside of the state,
Kentucky,
bring great players
yeah.
in there in Kentucky for it. You know, there's another kid in the Rockies organization that's got a chance to get to the big leagues. Keith Weezer is from Hamilton, Ohio. He went to the University of Miami.
Oh, Tulo had it. Couldn't get it out of the glove. It'll be a base hit for Parra. So with one out, Parra's aboard, second hit for the Diamondbacks.
I mentioned earlier when I was talking to Richie Dyer in the coach's office today, I said, have you seen a better offense or defensive team? And he said, you know what? I think the only one that's probably close to us is probably Los Angeles defensively. And he said, you know, you look at an infield, and he said, here's the easiest way to explain it. We've got such great range on the left side and right side of the infield that you have a 300-foot space you're dealing with to catch a ground ball. And we've reduced it and bunched it down so much that we're dealing with 180 feet. So that's why you're seeing so many balls that Tulowitzki gets to, so many that, you know, Ian Stewart does at third base. And he said, and then you've got an all-world first baseman that never misses anything. He goes, this guy never, he goes, I've stopped being surprised by the plays that Todd makes at first.
0-1 to Chad Tracy, line drive to Gonzalez, and Carlos makes the catch. It's always good when Tracy's retired facing the Rockies, a career .366 hitter coming into the season against Colorado. And we showed you the numbers earlier against Aaron. He's hit over 500 in his career. 2 outs, and Augie Ojeda will step up.
And more at bats against Aaron than anybody else, so it's not a fluke what he has done. 35 at bats, 19 for 36 now.
Augie Ojeda, versatile middle infielder. He has started at 3 different spots this year for Arizona. Not much at Coors Field, though, for Augie. Well, the Rockies up 1-0. They are 30-6 this year when they score first. That is the best in baseball. Another chance for Tulo. And he'll go to his buddy Barnes, and that is all for Arizona in the second inning. Parra left aboard. Rockies up 1-0. Leading it off for the Rockies in the second will be Ian Stewart. Steps in. A reminder that if the Rockies score 7 or more runs during any game, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 and feed your fever with 4 tacos for $1 with the purchase of a drink. And that's a steal. Only 1 order per customer. 0-1 count on Ian Stewart, who had a long home run in his first at bat last night.
And defensively, they're playing him. He's going to pull a little bit. Obviously, Upton's over. Center field straight up and down. But with second baseman Ojeda on the ground, he is about 5 steps back on that infield grass, or outfield grass, I should say, and playing over into the hole, much like Drew is up the middle.
And he went around.
Well, he asked quick, and I like that. Mark Berry jumped right, or excuse me, Scott Berry jumped immediately and asked for help at third base with Tom Hallion. The only disappointing thing, Tom, why didn't you do the rollover punch out? You just gave a little fist.
Well, he doesn't want to steal the show from Scott Barry because, you know, Scott's behind the plate tonight.
I think if Scott Barry does one of those, Ian Stewart's going to be madder than he is right now after chasing a curveball in the dirt.
Chris Iannetta steps up. 10 home runs. He's driven in 28. Another one of those guys that figures to hit in the 20 home run neighborhood. How about this? Last year, George, on the 4th of July, in the American League East, Tampa led the division. This ball is skied to short center field. Augie Ojeda handled it, 2 outs. They ended up winning the division, the AL East. The AL Central was led by the White Sox. They won the division. The Angels led on July 4th. They won the division in the West. And Boston led the wild card on the 4th of July, and they ended up winning the wild card also. National League, the Phils led the East on the 4th of July. They won the East. The Cubs on the 4th of July. Look out, the bat went flying. Carlos Gonzalez is going to have to get a little more sticking. 0-1. Cubs won the Central after leading on the 4th. The only 2 teams that led on the 4th that didn't win. Arizona led the West last year at 43 and 44. Everybody was below 500. The Rockies were 15 below. And the Dodgers ended up catching them. The wild card, St. Louis led. Milwaukee ended up winning it last year. And there's a division today. Rockies are coming quickly. And the Giants continue to play good baseball. Tim Lincecum on the hill today, and the Giants won in shutout fashion again over Houston, 9-0.
They have some strong pitching in the minor leagues right now. Bumgarner being one of those guys. Alderson another. Righty-lefty combination that's in AA already. I'm not saying they'll trade either one of those 2, but they have other minor league pitchers that are really throwing the ball well. Look for them to make a trade for some more offense in the second half, because they've made a believer out of Brian Savian. With that pitching staff and the job they have done, that they've got a chance to be something pretty special the second half.
Well, began the day 7.5 back, now 8.5 back of the Rockies. Dan Herron goes tomorrow. Wonder how many people Arizona will look to move. That pitch is inside, so Gonzalez, who's been falling behind in count, finally George gets ahead in the count, and he earns a free trip to first.
Well, obviously you'd like to see that out of a young kid struggling, that swinging a lot of pitches out of the strike zone, something Don Baylor's talked to him about, something Don Baylor has worked with him on. Get a better pitch to hit and drive it.
By the way, Tim Lincecum, a 23-inning scoreless stretch now for the reigning Cy Young winner. Gonzalez takes off and steals second. That caught everybody in the yard by surprise. You almost never see with 2 outs a guy run with the pitcher at the plate.
Not very often, but again, you're talking about a guy that got a walking lead at first base, and everything's wide open. A very good hitting pitcher, contact pitcher at the plate that doesn't swing and miss much. And I think that was the key to it. This ball's away from Aaron Cook. He doesn't offer at it, but it's a straight steal. Well ahead of the throw from Montero. His 4th. He's yet to be caught.
Well, you better be safe in that situation. The guts of a burglar for Carlos Gonzalez. The reason we say that is if he's thrown out, next inning you're leading off with your pitcher, not the most desirable situation.
Oh, it is not the most desirable, and it's going to look real quick at Aaron Cook with the bat this year. How many at bats that he did have this year? 28 at bats. Cook has struck out 10 times, so a third of the time he's punched out at the plate. He's talking about contact and being able to put the ball in play. A year ago, swung the bat very well. This year at $143, very respectful. Average at 143.
Well, the stolen base is the same thing for me, George, as the home runs. Rockies second in the league in home runs. They've stolen a bunch of bases, but they're not going to have just one guy leading the parade. This is blooped to short right, but Upton is there, and he'll make the catch. So Gonzalez left aboard through 2 innings. The Rockies lead on a Clint Barmes homer. release an 09 Impreza for only $179 a month. By Dex, take the sport out of finding local information with Dex. Find what you need when you need it in print and online at DexKnows.com. And by the great Colorado Payback, reuniting you with your money. That guy stole my costume, Frazier.
Did he?
Yeah.
Thought you still had it on.
I'm going to wear it after the ball game. 1-0 Colorado. Happy 4th of July. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout. Reminder, stick around after the ball game here on FSN Rocky Mountain and that fireworks display that everybody sees in attendance. You'll get to see it home in high definition. And we have, look at that, we have the launch camera, George, also in the back parking lot.
Well, Mark Stout's back there talking. Getting ready to get busy.
I don't know how safe that's going to be for Mark later on tonight.
I don't think he'll still be there.
Here's the 1-1 to use Mero Petit. That's in there. And it's 1-2. Aaron at night this year 4-2 with a 3.22 ERA. And he misses there. He has a 2.60 ERA since May 1st. And he's run the count full. I know he didn't intend to do that.
He'd like to dispatch of the opposing pitcher who has yet to get a base hit rather quickly to lead off an inning. That's what you'd like to have done in 3 pitches, not 6.
Second strikeout for Cook. Let's take a look at tonight's injury report, brought to you by the Exempla Lutheran Medical Center. Manuel Corpus, bone chips in his right elbow on the shelf. He's been throwing long toss the last couple of days, and today, George, he threw a 20-pitch, 25-pitch bullpen session, and it was uneventful, and that's how you like those bullpen sessions to go. And
next week, they hopefully will go down to Tulsa and be able to get into some ball games down there. They'd like to get you into the heat, the humidity of Tulsa. He's going to find out how hot it really is. 105 there yesterday with some humidity.
So knowing you called Kay and rubbed it in a little bit, said it was only 80.
No, I did not say a word.
Didn't mention it?
I said yes, dear.
Smart man.
Yeah, I learned that a long time ago.
Steven Drew lines one toward left center field. Gonzalez isn't going to be able to catch up with this one. It's going to roll to the wall. Drew runs pretty well, and he's taking about 3 bags. Tulowitzki up with a baseball, and it's going to be a triple for Steven Drew.
And of all that, and again, Gonzalez is going to shorten up a little bit on that side because Drew typically shows power to the other way. Coming right out on the Hyundai Cam, sinker from Cook, stayed up a little bit in the zone. It flattened out and went sideways more than it did down into the zone and out into left center field. Gonzalez gives a chase. And that ball hit a little bit soft. Drew thought about a double, got right here instead of turning on the afterburners and throw in from Tulowitzki offline. And a good job by Stewart to knock that ball down. Difficult ball to catch at third on a short skip, as that was from Tulo.
Infield's back and conceding the run with 1 out, 1-0. Third inning, Alex Romero takes high ball 1.
Plus arms in the outfield everywhere for the Rockies. So you get a line drive or a high fly ball. An opportunity for a play at the plate.
Other than the obvious, that being a strikeout, you hope for like a comebacker here. Aaron has never been a big strikeout pitcher. He keeps the pitch count down and, as you know, induces a great number of early count ground balls.
The Coca-Cola Value Pack, it's back again. It's available on July the 6th, just a couple of days from now, and then July 20th. So for the $49, you get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 Cokes, a parking, and a Rockies magazine, all for $49. Don't miss out. Buy your Coca-Cola Value Pack, 1-800-388-ROCK, or just go online with ColoradoRockies.com.
A delayed strike call from Scott Barry. Rockies will take it. It's 2-2. Now it's Romero from Maracaibo in Venezuela. 25-year-old. Up for a period of time a year ago with the Diamondbacks. Now Tulowitzki comes halfway. Barmes is back. Interesting defensive alignment.
Well, bring your left side in, tighten it up on a shorter throw if he happens to throw a strike, and you have to slap it to the left side with that hard sinker down and away. You got a chance with Stewart and Tulowitzki's arms to have a shot. Stay back on the right side with Barmes. Ball hit to the right side, widen your range, be able to knock it down and get the out. You just went from going on contact to you better look now where this ball is hit.
Here's the 3-2. That ate up the bat of Romero's, checking on its well-being. He's still not sure. That's a good way to check it out. Bang it on your helmet. The barrel part. Ground ball to third. Drew can't advance. Stewart throws him out. 2 gone. And Justin Upton coming up.
Stewart didn't have to move in that much. He was about even with the bag, but the ball was hit right at him. Well, after a 1-out triple by Drew, Cook kind of in the catbird seat right now with 2 outs. The defense can go back to its original position with probably one of their 2 best hitters at the plate, Justin Upton, and Reynolds in the on-deck circle.
Upton hit a chopper to short his first time up. We've been saying his name for a while. He's still a puppy. He's 21. Won't be 22 until late August. Out of Chesapeake, Virginia. Don't go up there with him, though.
Pretty good high ball hitter, but I think the two areas you got to be careful with him. The one area I think he really handles well is right here. I think down and in, and then he likes the ball up out over the plate. Stay out of those 2 areas, you got a chance.
And swing a little bit late. It's 1-1.
A little extra too for Cook at 93.
Aaron has won 5 consecutive starts. The team record is 6 wins in a row in 6 consecutive starts. And guess who holds that? Aaron Cook last spring. Here's the 1-1. George, he's getting some interesting movement on his 2-seam fastball. That ball cut. Looked like it moved away from Upton, not right, down and in.
Right on the outside corner at 94. As long as it's not straight, you don't let it bother you.
Aaron sets his feet, throws a dart to first. Head came up with it.
There's one. Mark that in the books for the Gold Glover.
That's right. Mark it down. It kept this game 1-0 in favor of the home club. Hey, Pete Rose, it doesn't take much to get me up for baseball. Once the national anthem plays, I get chills. I even know the words to it now. Pete, you heard the anthem for 20-plus years.
Yeah, a little more than that. He's been around for a long time, if you think about it. Pete Rose, those hits that he got, what is it, 4,500 and something.
42-56.
I know baseball's mad at Pete Rose, but what he did on the field, obviously, for me, a lot of people argue it. The only reason I say that, other sports have allowed other people in, and not to get into a talk radio type situation here. They've allowed them in.
I think he belongs in the Hall of Fame as well. 2 balls and a strike. Dexter Fowler hit a little flare behind shortstop his first time up, and Stephen Drew able to track it. Yusmeiro Petit gave up the home run in the first to Clint Barmes. Elton also hit in that first inning. That pitch misses. 3 balls and a strike. There's Barmes. Down low. So Petit walks Fowler. And that sets up speed at first with Barmes walking to the plate.
Well, I've already shown that he doesn't pay a lot of attention to the runner. Remember, Gonzalez took off with Cook at the plate, beat the throw down. And now you start to look at some things. They'll run it out of the dugout on the running game.
Dexter 14 of 19 stealing bases, and he dives back in. Ball 1 on Clint Barmes. Rockies have won a season best 6 in a row at Coors Field, 11 of their last 13 at home.
The last manager or even coach that I can remember. We'll see what happens on this pitch.
There goes Dex, and it's punched to right field. Base hit. Barnes looking for 2. Fowler gets a green light. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. Dexter Fowler scoring all the way from first on a ball that was hit about 115 feet.
How about the ball that Barmes hit and made contact? Look on the Hyundai cam where this pitch is, folks. It's difficult to make contact on a hit and run. Look at this thing. It's a foot outside. It's ankle high. And he dumps it out over the head of Chad Tracy in right field. And then it's off to the races as the ball came to a stop in right field. Tracy quit chasing it. Dexter did not. As soon as he rounded second, he picked up his coach, Richie Dower, and he sent him to the house. And there's the touch and the slide. They're saying that he got the shoe, but you can see he's underneath the shoe and then touched the plate. Scott Berry right on top of the play at the plate.
George, I know that slap tag's in vogue. I'm still a big believer. If you block it, either run him over or it slide in feet first and take his shin guard out, right?
Well, you're not going to get guys running guys over. That's out anymore. That you may see 2 of those a year due to injuries. Guys just don't do it anymore the way they did it in the 70s, 80s, and even into the 90s. Now they're taught to do the slap tag that we watched Dexter do an awful lot to avoid any kind of an injury or to slide into the shin guard and knock it off. But again, guys are concerned about injury. This is one more look at Dexter's slide. He knows the throw's coming from here, so he stays clear of that, and then he rakes it right across. Yes, he grabbed his foot and spun it, but his hand came across the top of the bat.
RBI out there for Todd, and help out in front a little bit, pops it up. Stephen Drew waving for it, and he makes the catch. Barmes with that double on the hit and run now has 40 RBIs. Two to nothing Colorado.
defensively, they were set up for that pick, weren't they, Drew? I mean, you looked out. I mean, Drew is sitting almost directly behind the second base bag, playing up the middle with Hop, because you kind of have the swing over anyway for Hop. Everybody's playing him to pull. So Drew's kind of just directly in line, and as he walks forward, Petit can see that as far as trying to make a pick. See him wave off. I don't know if we could get a shot of that again, but watch Drew in the background as he gets his lead. Watch Drew in behind. As he walks in behind, he'll either kind of keep coming and creeping, see him kind of wave the hand off, tell Petit, go to the plate. We're not going to pick at this time. I mean, he just kind of throws the hand out.
2-strike count on Brad. Hop leading the club with 56 RBIs. That hits the bag. Lost ball. Safe for first. Oh, man. Chad Tracy, after it hit the bag, couldn't find it. It goes as a base hit. That is one of the stranger knocks you will ever see.
Yeah, unbelievable there, huh? Goes right down the line, and because Tracy was playing so deep behind the bag, because he got a left-handed pull hitter up, he's got to come to get the baseball. He's slow coming to it, and it takes that last hop, hits the bag, jumps straight in the air, and he's kind of around looking for it. By the time he grabs it, Hop realizes, hey, I got a chance to beat this thing out. Kind of jogs a little bit, and up. I'm going to turn this thing up. Look at this. I think I got a chance to beat this out. You bet.
And a good job by the first base umpire, Phil Cuzzy, staying with it. You look at Mark Reynolds at third. He had the comments after the ball game, and he had a lot to say. We quoted him earlier. He said, we were a circus out there. He said, we were the bad news bears. It's got to stop. Guys got to care. It seems like nobody cares right now. And he's looking around saying, here we go again. Tulowitzki with a home run cut, and he didn't get any baseball. You know, in that situation, not to pick on Chad Tracy, George, it's fair. It's an easy out. Why not come get the baseball and just go and get the out?
Well, I think he did come to it, Drew, but he was playing almost back to the outfield grass. So it was like a foot race, and the ball wasn't hit that hard. Now, that ball hit the umpire. Montero never got it.
Now, Hop's going to try to move up, and he does. That'll be a wild pitch on Petit. That takes the double play out of order, and it puts another man in scoring position. The Rockies taking advantage of Arizona's bad baseball.
Little bitty things can turn into huge things. A wild pitch, runner at first, take away the double play, base hit, scores two in this ballpark. It appeared to get the umpire or a shin guard. And by that time, Hop was off. This is very evident of what the Rockies did on their most recent road trip on balls in the dirt. There were 6 wild pitches in Anaheim that they moved up on.
Here's the 1-1 on Tula. Way outside with the slider. It's 2-1. Now, George, let's watch again Chad Tracy. See if he could have gotten to this baseball before it got close to the bag.
Now, see, he kind of waited on it, thinking it was going to come back to him. Yeah, he could have got there. And then it hit the bag. It's the umpire's call from home plate to the bag, and then once it hits the bag and crosses that area, it was fair and foul. But, I mean, yeah, I think he could have. Yeah, you look back at it again. If he charges hard enough, he probably does. Wonder if he felt like it was going to be
comebacker and locked up his Barnes. Moving to third is Hop. And Tulowitzki, the one place he couldn't hit the ball was back to the pitcher.
Now, you're right. That is the one spot going on contact. As soon as the ball's hit, Barmes took off with it. Now he's stuck in the rundown. And Batiste is going to run him back to the bag, as you should. Tulowitzki moves up. Make that Brad Hop moves up. Tulowitzki goes to first.
Let's see if Stewart can come through. He struck out his first time up. Outfield. Straight up. Infield playing Stewart to pull. We really want to take advantage here. The Rockies had second and third, one out. 1 run in the inning, 2-0 overall.
Well, the last major league manager that I saw do this was calling the pitches was Roger Craig. And I've been watching their dugout and watching Stottlemyre as he tries to make the plays and making the calls to his catcher. And he's been calling an awful lot of pitches of where they want the location and how to handle the Rockies hitters. It's unusual in respect. He's looking down at Richie Dyer, seeing what they're going to do. He's checking Montero, and then you all of a sudden see here at all those signs. Everything means, those touches mean curveball, fastball, inside, outside, up and down. I mean, there's a lot of different things they can mean. Just hadn't seen that in the big league level in a long time.
1-1, road fair down the right field line. 1-1 scored. Tulowitzki gets a green light from Richie Dowling. He's going to come home. He'll score easily on the 2-run double by Ian Stewart. Make it 4-0 Colorado.
The ball appeared to get stuck in one of the puddles down the right field line. And this ball was hit like a laser down the right field line, trying to snap that curveball off on the Hyundai cam, and it just hung right up into the middle of the plate. Stewart ran it right out of the hand and then drove the ball right at you, folks. Man, what a great camera shot this is. As the ball rolls down in here, let's see if it gets saved right there in the water. Yeah, see, the water just stopped that ball down the right field line and set in the water. And, of course, when you pick that up to throw it, it's going to slip a little bit out of the hand. That's why Upton just gave the soft toss on into Ojeda, knowing they wouldn't have a play on Tulowitzki. You see scored in the background.
That rain shower, George, at 5 o'clock, home field advantage. 4-0 Rockies. Chris Iannetta coming up. Stewart with a 2-run double. RBIs 41 and 42 for Stewart. Iannetta's been accumulating the RBIs of late at Coors Field. 14 of them in his last 9 home ball games. Iannetta is slugging .490 this year, which is second best among National League catchers. He has such a good eye. It's 2-0.
52nd pitch of the ball game for Petit. He's working in the third. That's a little high.
And Iannetta out front, 2-1. Got that 2-0 changeup. Two and two. Three in here in the third for Colorado. This ball driven with authority to right. Upton going over near the line is going to make the catch. In the inning, the Rockies come up with 3 runs on 3 hits. They have a 4-0 lead as we go to the 4th for Aaron Cook. In high definition, the best fireworks show in the big leagues, right here at Coors Field. And we'll bring it to you on FSN Rocky Mountain right after the postgame report. There's our launch cam in the back parking lot. Looks like it's pretty focused there. Aaron Cook to Mark Reynolds to begin the fourth inning. Inside ball one. Dougie just handed me a note a moment ago. Individual wins, swung on and missed, since the start of 2008. Tim Lincecum is 27-7 after his W today. Chad Billingsley is 25-14. 1-1. This ball's hit a ton.
Yep, strong man at the plate. You bet. Mistake made up in the upper half of the zone with an 89-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yep, 23rd home run for Mark Reynolds. If you're going to talk the talk, you better walk the walk. Last night, very frustrated Reynolds, the most vocal of the Diamondbacks following their 5-0 setback. And he hits one out here for the first run in the series by Arizona.
It is the first run on the Hyundai cam, and you're going to see a fastball come to the inner half belt high from Aaron Cook. That's not a normal location you would find his hard sinker.
23 home runs for Reynolds. Miguel Montero up 4-1 Colorado. Johan Santana, George, also at 25 wins. He's 25-13. This ball is lined to left, and that's a problem. It's over in the corner, and Montero into second with a double. And the point of this list is that Aaron Cook is next, 24-12, along with Ted Lilly's 24 wins. And there it is. Pretty good company.
Well, very good company. Johan Santana, probably the one guy you would expect to be on there all. But Billingsley, Lincecum, two young stars in the National League West. Billingsley has become the ace of the Dodgers, as Lincecum has the San Francisco Giants.
Drag bunt attempt. Now they got him hung up. Montero's dead meat.
Good job by Stewart, too, to read that was coming, because what ended up happening when they threw it down, Stewart was up tight for a bunt, then retreated back to the third base bag.
That's a big out. I mean, you're talking about cutting the Rockies' lead in half. If they could score Montero, he's out there at second with nobody out.
Now watch, big lead here, so he could have the opportunity to get to third, and then Stewart retreated back to the bag, got in a position for the rundown, and then Troy Tulowitzki just took off. Less throws to make, the better you are.
It's a caught stealing if you score with us at home. 2-6-5-6. And the base hit by Parra.
Now that's how important that was for that play to be made right there by Chris Iannetta. That'll also maybe refrain A.J. Hinch from trying to steal a lot of bases, because their ball club, third in the National League, with 64 stolen bases. They've been successful 76.2% of the time. Well, I'm going to give you some interesting numbers here. You're talking about numbers. How about the ERA on June the 3rd as a team among the Rockies pitching staff was at 4.79. Since then, it has been 3.44. The opposition had hit 286 up to June 3rd. Since then, they've hit 239. The important thing that jumps out to me has been the hits are down and the runs per game. 5.2 allowed up to June 3rd. And now they are at 3.5 that they've allowed since then. Strikeouts, not a big deal to me, because the strikeouts, nobody on this staff really strikes out a whole lot of people. De La Rosa does. But everybody else pretty much sinker ball guys or contact guys.
Jimenez obviously has the ability to get the punch out, but those numbers, George, they've shaved, to your point, they've shaved a half a run off their ERA in the last month.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, and they've added a run to their output. So I mean, when you do that, you have a pretty good chance of doing things. Poirier, hard-throwing right-hander, has started to throw down in the Arizona bullpen.
There's Blaine Boyer. George just mentioned him.
We talked about it last night. 95, 96-mile-an-hour cheese, and Atlanta put him on waiver.
Actually, St. Louis put him on waivers.
Excuse me, St. Louis put him on, right?
He was with Atlanta at the start of the year. They traded him to St. Louis. One ball, no strikes on Chad Tracy. Hit a fly ball to left field his first time up. Tracy, a native of North Carolina, played collegiately for the East Carolina Pirates.
I mentioned earlier, Drew did, Tracy's hit over 500 against Cook in his career, and it's 36 at bats. So I mean, he's seen him a lot. Situation up now with a runner on.
He's also, despite those gaudy numbers and the great numbers at Coors Field and overall against the Rockies, had micro knee fracture surgery. He's a good candidate for a double play. Takes a strike. George, I want to ask you a question here. Aaron Cook, when he sets, is slightly open, which a lot of right-handers do. So instead of balking, they have an easier view over that left shoulder at first base. Did you do that?
No, I stayed pretty much straight up and down, but I looked twice before I went over there. I'll be honest with you, Drew. Before I came set to the, he rocks back on that back leg an awful lot too.
To left, this is going to elude Gonzalez, and another hit for Tracy. Stopping at second base is Parra. That's a very good job, by the way, by Gonzalez to make sure that thing didn't get down in the corner.
But I had already made up my mind when I came set that I was either going to go to first or step off, one or the other, or go home. I didn't, I knew in my mind I was going to pick, but I was a reliever too. So I mean, when I came in, I had a thought process of what I was going to do, a plan, depending on who was on first. If you come in and you got Todd Helton on first base, why are you worried about throwing to first base? You're not going to steal a base very often. Know who your runners are. Know the situation.
4 straight line drives against Aaron Cook. A home run by Reynolds, a double by Montero, a bullet up the middle by Parra, now a bullet to left by Chad Tracy. The beauty of Aaron Cook's sinker is that he can get a ground ball, be in the dugout in a flash. Augie Ojeda hit the ball on the ground his first time up. But this ball's hit well to left. Gonzalez will settle underneath. Parra's got to run back to second. But, George, that's 5 straight balls in the air. You almost never see that from Aaron Cook.
Well, early on in the game, you didn't see that. You saw balls on the ground. The only out recorded was that little fly ball to left field. Chad Tracy hit back in the second. Everything else been on the ground. There was a flare in the air at short to lead the ball game off. So everything's starting to come up into the zone. I thought this is what AJ would do. He'd take the one shot with a couple of men on to try to take the lead, or I should say tie this ball game up, with the Rockies on top 4-1. And Clark has not hit for a high average against Aaron Cook. He's 5 for 25. But of his 5 hits, 3 have left the yard, and he's driven in 9 against Aaron.
Well, you have to factor in, first of all, Petit's given up 4 runs on 5 hits through 3 innings. So it's not like he's been lights out. He's coming off being out for 60 days.
Well, but if he's on a 60-pitch count, then put him in a bullpen. Because you can blow up a bullpen, particularly at Coors Field, in one game like this. You're still on rehab, in other words. Stay on rehab.
Tony pinch hit last night. Hit the ball in the air to center field. And he pops this up left side. Long run for everybody but Carlos Gonzalez, and he makes the catch at foul ground. In the inning, Mark Reynolds hit a home run. There were 3 other hits, but because Montero got picked off, basically, only 1 run came around. Question on this 4th of July. The Declaration of Independence begins with what words? So you thought you were going to get a sports question, a baseball question tonight. Not on the 4th of July. See if you can come up with that. Mark Stout somewhere in the ballpark scratching his head. Well, this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Comcast. Call 1-800-COMCAST and warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Blaine Boyer, who was in the ballgame last night, replaces Yusmeiro Petit, and Carlos Gonzalez swings at the first pitch and lashes it down the left field line foul.
94 with that fastball. He's pitched in 24 games this year. The earned run average fairly high. That happened most of that at St. Louis, that damage. 14 walks in 25 and 2/3 innings.
Inside, 1-1. Petit pitched 3 innings, gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, walked a couple, and struck out a couple. Here's the 1-1 to Carlos Gonzalez. And it's bounced to second. Easy play for Ojeda, 1 down. Let's check in with Mark Stout with tonight's great Colorado payback sideline report. Hey, Mark.
Drew, George, I'm about 100 yards or so from left field, behind Coors Field. This is Ernie Simmons of Zambelli Fireworks from Pennsylvania. How long have you been doing this, Ernie?
35 years.
And other than Coors Field, another great venue you've shot fireworks at?
Independence Day in Kuwait, also a park dedication in Saudi Arabia.
Wow. Doing how many shots or shells will we have here tonight?
Total shell count between 6,000 and 7,000.
That will do some art in the sky, as they like to call it. You'll see it after the game right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. Stay tuned. We go back to the booth now.
All right, Mark, thanks very much. 6,000 to 7,000 shells. And those guys are the best. I mean, they come out of Pennsylvania out here every year, and their business extends to the Middle East. 2-0 on Aaron Cook. Cook hit it in the air to right field his first time up. And he takes a strike, 2-1.
A little different animal now. Petit was topping out at 88. Boyer topped out at 95.
Now 2-2. Two outs as Tracy runs to the bag.
Center fielder, number 24, Dexter Fowler.
That'll bring up Dexter Fowler and also take us to a reminder that if you have any windshield issues, please run off to Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, at 303-287-5000 or visit safelight.com. Dexter walked his last time up, came all the way around on a hit and run double down the right field line that Clint Barmas sent just over the head of Chad Tracy on a slider that was probably 1.5 feet off the plate. Oh, 0-2. Dexter had his 18th double last year. That ties a first half rookie record for the Rockies. The only other rookie to have 18 doubles before the All-Star break, Matt Holliday, back in 2004. In fact, those 18 doubles, the most of any rookie in the National League this year. Dexter also leads in walks with 36, tied for first in runs coming in. He may be by himself now. This ball is a line shot that is gloved by Upton. That took a base hit away. from Fowler. Dexter hit it on the button. Nice play by another young star, Justin Upton. 1-2-3 inning is the first for Arizona. 4-1 ball game as we head to inning number 5. And by Comcast digital home phone service, warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. Stephen Drew representing the top of the order for Arizona in the 5th inning. He tried to, or he faked a bunt, I should say. And the pitch was out of the strike zone. That's in the strike zone. So it's a 1-1 count. Stephen Drew hitting just a .196 out on the road this year. He's hitting .283 at Chase Field. He tripled in the 3rd inning with 1 out, but was left stranded. Romero hit a ground ball to 3rd. He couldn't advance, and then Upton hit a comebacker. And this ball is in triple territory to right center field. He'll stop at 2nd.
Well, a nice thing the Rockies have, and I say nice, it's Barmes and Tulowitzki both shortstops. So when there's a ball hit to either gap, a lot of times the one team has to send out the strongest arm when you get in a big ballpark like this for your first cutoff throw to come to. Now, with the Rockies, you can do it either way. With Barmes, a very strong arm. Also with Tulowitzki on the Hyundai cam, you caught a shot of that ball hit setting right out into right center field. So nobody out in a 4-1 ball game. I did notice something, and again, I'm just looking and watching in between innings, that after Aaron Cook warmed up for this inning, he really stretched his lower back. He had a little lower back tightness. What was about a month ago. Not to say it's an issue, not to, it's just something you kind of look for to maybe think that if that lower back's starting to tighten up a little bit, because the ball is starting to come in the zone, up in the zone a little bit. More fly ball hits and outs.
Like that. This ball's well hit to center. Fowler is not going to get there. Alex Romero has a double. Stephen Drew jogs home, and it's 4-2. And to me, the alarm bells ought to be sounding, because this is not Aaron Cook. You go back to last inning, home run, double, single, single, and the balls were ripped.
Well, the ball's up.
The final 2 outs, George, were in the air. The double by Drew, the double by Romero. Something's gone awry.
Well, the ball's up in the strike zone, and I guess Chris Iannetta is out to talk to him right now. Cookie, being the tough guy that he is going to tell him, no, I'm fine. I'm staying in this ball game. Jim Tracy runs this bullpen, and he runs it very efficiently. As they start to go down there, as you look out in their bullpen, you got everybody stretching, moving their arms. Is the phone going to ring? Is it going to be me or you, or who's it going to be? They're working their way down, trying to get back into this ball game.
Let me ask you a question. Justin Upton's hitting in the 3-hole. I know you want to move the runner over, nobody out at second base. It's now a 2-run ball game.
No, you don't want to bunt.
Yeah, right,
Just let me help you out.
Right now, the way he's one of 2 guys that's really swung the bat well with any consistency this year in the Arizona lineup. And all of a sudden, Cook has become vulnerable the last 2 innings.
Maybe a young hitter's mistake.
That's a shot to short. Tulo comes up with it. And he throws out Upton for the first out in the inning. That'll bring up Mark Reynolds, who homered his last time up. Firestone League leaders. Total ground balls. Jason Marquis has induced 189 of them. No surprise, he's near the top. He's at the top. Joel Pinheiro is next. And then Aaron Cook.
Tell you what, Pinheiro's had a nice year. He's thrown the ball well for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Good pitch.
Cardinals lose today 5-3 in Cincinnati.
Good spot there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the home run, the 23rd of the year for Mark Reynolds.
Yeah, you saw the location of the pitch. Belt high up, very flat. Didn't have a lot of sink to it.
One ball and 2 strikes. Mark Reynolds last year struck out once every 3 at bats, 204 times, a major league record. Two and 2. Last night, more than 49,000 a sellout. This is another sellout tonight. On Independence Day 2009. Rockies trying to win for their 6th time in the last 7 years on the 4th. Wow. You don't see a lot of emotion from Aaron typically on the mound. He took an extra step in. He thought this was strike 3.
Well, it should have been. I mean, compared to what you're looking at from that side, was it off the plate at all? You'll look here. Well, it was.
Here's the 3-2. It's top foul.
Don't forget about all the mini plans that are available right now for you to purchase tickets to Rockies game. You can draft up your own line of 15 game minis that you want to have. You can choose from 15 games to attend and save up to 30% over the individual tickets. Mini plans include the opportunity for postseason tickets. And you can call the Rockies 303 or go online to ColoradoRockies.com and order now.
And it's popped foul out of play behind the Rockies dugout. Reynolds out of the University of Virginia. He played summer league ball with the Uptons growing up. Also with David Wright and Ryan Zimmerman. They didn't lose much.
They didn't lose a lot of ball games, tell you that. Very stacked up. That's not going to be fair.
As their summer team one year, late in high school, Justin Upton was the baby. He was the 9th grader. They let him play, though. Slowly hit to short. Tulowitzki will throw out Reynolds. 2 outs. Romero crossed in front. That'll bring up Miguel Montero. Time to answer our Affleck trivia question. Civics exam. The Declaration of Independence begins with what words? George?
Drew.
When in the course of human events, the second paragraph begins,
Doug,
we hold these truths to be self-evident. If you had "we the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union," that's the Constitution. And the Gettysburg Address is 407 years ago. Our forefathers set forth on this land a new nation. Swung on and missed. 1-1. Conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. And now we find ourselves engaged in a great civil war, something along those lines. 1 ball, 1 strike on Montero. Dangerous man. He doubled his last time up. So he's been an offensive catcher, so much so that Arizona, George, in the past has carried 3 catchers so they could pinch hit Montero.
Yeah, they did. And with the injury to Snyder now, Carlin is the backup, and he's having to play an awful lot of the ball games. But man, he put up big numbers for A.J. Hinch and their ball club, and A.J. was working as field coordinator for the Arizona team. The numbers he put up late in games, big hits too. I mean, to win ball games, not just to lead off an inning.
This is a big pitch here. 2-2. Runner at third, 2 outs. The Rockies leading 4-2. See if Cook can get Montero. And he will. Ground ball to second. Nice job by Aaron. He righted himself, George, after all the balls in the air. He got 3 straight ground balls to end the 5th. 4-2 Colorado.
The luckiest man on the face of the earth.
And welcome back to Coors Field. That, of course, the famous speech that Lou Gehrig made on this date, as we give you the This Date in History, brought to you by Dex 70 years ago, July 4th, 1939, Lou Gehrig Appreciation Day at Yankee Stadium. His real name is Heinrich Ludwig Gehrig. And, of course, that was the day that number 4 was retired by the Yankees. We'll have much more on that coming up during the 7th inning here during tonight's ball game. There's your Dex This Date in History. Let's go back to the booth to Drew and George, guys.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Clint Barmes, Todd Helton, Brad Hopp. Rockies looking to extend a 4-2 lead. They did lead 4-0. Barmes got it going with a home run off Yusmeiro Petit back in the 1st inning. He also has an RBI double facing Blaine Boyer for the first time. Boyer pitched a 1-2-3 4th.
And relying mostly on his fastball, which he's ran up to the mid-90s. That last at 93. They had some sink on it.
One ball, 2 strikes on Barmes. Armas fourth in the National League in June in hits. He had 37. He also drove in 19 runs. And this is a pop fly to Upton and right. That'll bring up Todd Helton. Todd's 1 for 2. Sharp single to right in the first and a pop to short in the third. He's hit over 300 every month of the year. And this is a flare to right center field. It's going to drop. Second hit of the night for Helton. Well, it's time for the Colorado Mining Association Power Hit of the Week. Let's go back to Oakland. Brad Hopp at the plate against the A's. And she's gone. Career home run number 100 for Brad Hopp. He has since hit number 101. That came at Dodger Stadium. Did you know that the United States has 27% of the world's coal? More energy than all the oil in the Middle East. Coal, real power, rain or shine, no matter which way the wind blows. And it's mined right here in Colorado. That's the Colorado Mining Association. Slider for a strike. Brad tonight is 1 for 2. He had the strangest of hits his last time up. A roller up the first base line that hit the bag and popped over the glove of Chad Tracy. Oh, 2. This ball is driven to deep center field, and it is over the head of Gerardo Parra. Helton around third. He's coming to the plate. Here's the throw. It's in time. Helton knocks him over. Montero holds on. Hopp goes to third, and Todd just tried to run over Miguel Montero, and Montero held on.
And I sure like the effort of Todd Helton. One of the few times we mentioned earlier with a slap tag that you'll see somebody run him over, but you're talking about a former football player and Todd Helton. When he advanced to the plate coming in, this is the perfect throw coming to the plate on one hop, and then it's just kind of lower the shoulder and take the shot of the mask. You see Montero thought he was going to have to go out and get the ball on a hop. Then the ball came to him. Helton just says, all right, I don't have a choice. You're going to get in the way, then I don't have the slap tag's not available. I've got to lower the shoulder and get after it, and he does.
You know what? I know he's out. I can't tell you how much I like that play.
Why do you like that play so much?
Because I think it fires up the dugout. I think it gives a team an identity. I really do, George. I really believe that there's a time and place for it. It's a very good, clean, emphasis on clean, baseball play, and going back, knowing a thing or two about football and collisions, 99% of the time when you deliver that blow, you're not the one who's going to get hurt.
Well, you're not normally, and you're right. I mean, of course, if you went to Oakland and talked to Ray Fosse, he'd probably have a whole different scenario about those collisions at the plate.
Well, he received it.
He received
it. He rose, jumped up.
Yep, and he received it very well. And I think you're right, a time and a place to do it. And I think it left Todd no choice coming in, to be honest. I think Todd was probably going to do the slide and the tag, but Montero got deep enough, and Todd made the right choice. Of course, the dangers of all of that, the injuries to catchers, injuries to the players, and that happened in today's game.
That was a great relay by Arizona.
Oh, man, they worked it to perfection.
Tremendous throw by Stephen Drew. It's good baseball play all the way around. 0-2 on Tulowitzki. Hopp a double, move to third on the throw, and this ball is shot down the left field line. Obviously foul. Everybody jumped out of the way.
Looking out, let's look and see. You can see Drew going out. He's looking over his shoulder to see right where Todd Helton was. That's great camera work, guys. And then the throw in. I thought the decision made by Montero, he thought he was going to have to go out and get the ball in the air. Then he backed up. I thought it was a great play by Helton to blow him over, but also for a great play by Montero to be able to hang on to the baseball, because he received it on the hop and then absorbed the blow.
One more point on that. I also think in that situation, George, that's the best way for, with the ball beating the player there, that your best chance, your best opportunity to be safe, to knock the ball free.
It is.
So you just slide.
You just got to make it. Well, you got to make a read on it too. I think if that ball bounces up high, maybe get under it, but not very often.
Upton camped underneath. Tulowitzki is out, and Hop left at third base. Couple of hits, no runs in the inning. We'll go to the sixth inning. The Rockies ahead 4-2. Pretty good shot by the old Tennessee Volunteer quarterback. Against the Dodgers on Tuesday. Clutch plays of the week brought to you by our friends at Amco AA MCO.
Alan Embry started the throw with Cook at 77 pitches in the bullpen, and Jimmy Wright's already let him know that he's fine. And so I think maybe the issue with the back may be starting to get there with Cook. Maybe not. Could be totally wrong.
Gerardo Parra at the plate. 2 singles tonight. He's 2 for 2 against Aaron. Rockies up 4-2. Top of the 6th. And that's in there for a strike. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout from a sold-out Coors Field. And Juan Rincon also getting the body loosened up.
Well, that's one thing Jim Tracy does do a good job of. He's got the right-left combination going. Now, they've used their biggest, most powerful pinch hitter off of the bench. Clark's gone. And Jim Tracy mapping the rest of this game out if he has to go get Aaron Cook during the 6th inning. And he wants to make sure he's got double barrel action going. Cook. Oh,
that feel?
Not good. You can see right there he went. Yeah, back. I mean, he got it pretty good right there. Cook can't even get up.
And going all the way to third is Parra.
Yep. I mean, this is well, I tell you what, that one got Aaron.
You talk about being competitive, George. That's just being competitive. His instincts took over, and he dove after that ball. You know, Barmer's going to be coming quick. Probably be a bang-bang play if Barmer fields it because it's a long run. Watch this effort.
Yeah, watch the bang. This is the thing on his back when he went down. Wow. Everything went a different direction, and he snapped throw over to Helton. He just threw it away. Here you're going to get a great look at it. As he came up, that side throw over, I mean, his back, you just see right there, just put it down. And realistically, it's July 4th. If you've got any Twins, anything whatsoever, get off the mound. Let the bullpen do their job.
It's a 3-base error. It's not a hit. It's a 3-base error on Cook. And Cook's going to go to the hill and see if he's okay. Yeah, that's just rough, George. He made a great pitch. Obviously, you're talking about a ball that's nubbed just to his left.
4th error on Aaron Cook this year.
He's saying it's tight.
Yeah, they're going to the bullpen. Yeah, it's just tight. I mean, there's no reason not to do it. I mean, to get off of the mound, gallant effort. Embry will be the guy coming into the ball game. He'll face Tracy.
And he flipped Ojeda around. So Aaron Cook walks off. Hopefully it's nothing serious. 4-2 Colorado in the 6th. Last year on the 4th of July, we hadn't mentioned this yet. It took a little while, but the Rockies, with their greatest comeback in club history, knocked off the Marlins 18-17. George, I know you don't forget that one. The Rockies trailed 13-4 after 4 innings.
I did not.
They'll take a little more conventional victory.
Yeah, nice little 4-2, get out of this inning, no runs, be pretty happy, or 4-3. The one thing that they did change is what they've done without Embry. See how that toe's kind of turned in right here? Bob Apodaca, Jimmy Wright, felt like this front side as he came to the plate was flying open. So when it would fly open, you know, it would allow the shoulders and everything to rotate out. So when he comes into that set position now where his feet used to be in a straight line like this, the heels were. Now all of a sudden the front heel, you'll see here in just a second, is going to be in front of the back heel. And it helps this front shoulder stay closed a little bit longer. And the other day when he came into L.A., nasty sliders to the left hand. That's the get me over slider at 78 miles an hour.
Chad Tracy at the plate, 1 for 2. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Comcast Digital Home Phone Service. Warm up to unlimited local and long distance. Call 1-800-COMCAST. Parr is at third in a 4-2 ball game. And it's 0-2.
And 81 on that slider. Now, what he did in L.A. when he got ahead of the left-hander, he got way up on top and really snapped it. 31 ball games, 21 in the 3rd innings. 675 earned run average, and realistically, I don't pay a whole lot to ERAs coming out of the bullpen because it gets blown up an awful lot in those 1 or 2 outings that you can have, and he's had a couple of those hiccups during the year.
Ojeda, switch hitters on deck, and then the pitcher spot. Right-handed bat, true right-handed bat they have on the bench is Chris Young. They do have Carlin, a switch hitter. Lopez, Felipe, who's normally a starter, a switch hitter on the bench.
Well, don't forget the All-Star voting isn't quite over just yet. From July 5th to July 9th, you can vote for the 32nd player for each one of the league rosters. Go to the ColoradoRockies.com, cast your vote today. The final roster spot, number 33, will be a manager's choice this year.
See if you can get the punch out of Tracy. That's going to get the run home. Helton is going to flip to Embry. It's now a 4-3 ball game, and that closes the book on Aaron Cook. He gives up 3 runs, 2 earned in 5+ innings, 9 hits. Didn't walk a batter, struck out 2.
Okay, let's start to play manager here a little bit. Young has stepped out into the on-deck circle. You have the right-hander Rincon going. The other left-hander they would have that they could throw up would be Lopez. Do you do it now? With nobody on, I don't see any reason to do it. Defensively, you could go ahead and let Young hit and then put him into the outfield.
I don't, for 2 reasons, George, and you made one of them. You made one of the points, and that is there's nobody on. You know, we don't know if there's going to be nobody on, but right now there's nobody on. If you get Ojeda out, there's 2 outs. The second thing is that it's the 6th inning, and Alan Embry has been better against righties than lefties
on the year. And recently, I think with this, and you got to go on history a little bit, but he's out there to get left-handers out, and he's closed that front side up. That's helped a little bit, a lot actually. That's what Drew's talking about. Left-handers 378, right-handers 260.
Chip Hale at third, nicely done. 1-2 on Ojeda. Jim Tracy, sit back and watch the first 5 innings. And then when it turns to the 6th, that's when managers in the National League really start to have to think their way through the ball game. Really becomes a chess match. Popped up left side. Gonzalez coming. Tulowitzki there, and look out. Tulo makes the catch. Second time they've nearly had a collision tonight.
Yep, sure has been. All right, they're going to switch, put Young back in. If a guy got on base, you let Young hit. He didn't get on, so now you're going to go to your next best. Really not next best.
You're going to
Max Scherzer and let him hit.
They used to really scare you when they did this.
Well, that was a whole different thing. That was a 2nd-round draft pick of the Rockies too. And Michael Owings, he's over at Cincinnati now.
And he pinch hit 2 days ago. I saw on the box score. So Scherzer, who started last night, took the loss, will pinch hit.
Has he pinch hit any other time this year? That's the next question. I thought you'd already had that looked up.
It's up here, George.
He's 0 for 1. 0 for 0.
No. You're looking at the wrong place.
No. There's only been one other pitcher that has pinch hit this year. Well, a couple of guys, Davis and Garland.
Todd thinks he has a play, and he does. The Scherzer's gone. And a nice job coming in by Alan Embry. An unearned run in the 6th inning for Arizona. It's a 4-3 ball game. was the Frost Brewed Coors Light Freeze Camp. Big happy 4th of July, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the holiday weekend. The Rockies playing great baseball. They shut out the Diamondbacks 5-0 last night. And they lead 4-3 here as they come to bat in the bottom of the 6th. With George Frazier and Mark Stout, I'm Drew Goodman. Fireworks to follow here naturally from the ballpark. Always one of the best displays of fireworks in the region and nationally. And we'll have it for you in high definition after the postgame report tonight. Juan Gutierrez, third pitcher utilized this evening by A.J. Hinch, and the slider is outside ball 1 on Ian Stewart, who doubled in 2 runs in the 3rd. Stewart, Iannetta, and Carlos Gonzalez. Randy Flores tossing right now in the Rockies' pen. Jim Wright looking on. Gutierrez has a good arm. He'll run that fastball into the upper 90s. He made his Diamondbacks debut back on April 7th against the Rockies. He retired all 4 batters he faced that night. His first time in the big league since late in the 07 season while playing for Houston.
A lot of time big arms because there's such a shortage of them in baseball. You rush to the big leagues too quick and you kind of fall flat in how you recover and then try to recover and get back. Well, that last fastball 97. Big arm, a lot of velocity, but if you don't find a strike zone, it doesn't do you any good. The last one sailed a good foot and a half.
Hit the bag again. I tried, George. I really
why not?
did.
Yep, that's fine. You did good.
All right, Cell Energy fun fact for the evening. The National Hot Dog and Sausage Council state that over 150 million dogs are consumed during Independence Day festivities every year. That's 818 per second. All right, then. There's Chris Iannetta. He went around. Energy Star Appliances can save you up to 30% or more on your energy costs. Find out how you can be a star at responsiblebynature.com. Oh, you know what? I forgot, George. Actually, I was watching some of this. You know, Nathan's deal.
No, I don't even want to talk about it.
I know that makes you uneasy.
No, I don't want to talk about it.
But Joey Chestnut has made it 3 in a row at the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest on Coney Island. He ate 68 in 10 minutes. 68 dogs in 10 minutes.
Took the trophy, walked out back, and you know what?
Or, as some of my brethren would say, where I grew up, he had how many dogs in 10 minutes?
Yeah, no kid. That guy's having a tough time getting one down.
Kobayashi, George, was second.
Well, that's the end of his advertising career.
Both those guys are lean.
You're wrong. Both those guys are nuts. All of them.
Well, they're lean and nuts. 1 and 2 on Chris Iannetta. Dougie, is this a guy who eats? This note you just handed me? He's in the contest? There's a guy that's not as lean, George. Badlands Booker's 400 pounds.
How did Badlands Booker do?
I don't know. I don't have his card. This is in the air to Upton. Rockies got to get the bats going again, George. They've got 4 in the first 3 innings, all against Petit. Nothing against Blaine Boyer in 2 innings. Though Helton was thrown out of the plate on a fine relay after a double by Brad Hopp.
Well, obviously, you'd like to see some more runs thrown up on the board to give a little breathing room to the bullpen to where every single pitch, as you get deeper into the game, it doesn't mean, or I shouldn't say, doesn't take on such a whole new meaning for this game. Gonzalez 15-2. How about that? Do you know that, Drew? The Rockies are 15-2 when he starts.
That's I did know that.
Let's figure out a way to get him in the lineup every day.
Well, you know,
pretty good winning percentage.
That's something that Jim Tracy was talking about. He said, hey, he's a kid, he's learning, and we're going to keep running him out there, even though he has struggled and he struck out at an alarming rate so far. But he's got immense talent. Gonzalez has 22 strikeouts and 65 at bats. Home run and 4 RBIs. And he's behind 0-2, which has been a frequent occurrence.
Quite a difference in AAA this year. 32 strikeouts and 192 at bats.
A shattered bat and an easy play for Reynolds. Gutierrez gets the Rockies 1-2-3 in the 6th. We'll go to the 7th. It's 4-3. Stephen Drew in the top of the order next for Arizona. With Stephen Drew and Alex Romero, the first 2 due up here in the 7th. The Rockies keep Alan Embry out on the hill. Drew, a triple and a double in 3 trips against Aaron Cook. And the slider misses ball 1. I was looking back, George, at some of the great happenings on the 4th of July in baseball. Got a couple for you.
Okay.
That just missed. 2-0. 1934. Dodgers manager Casey Stengel comes out to the mound to remove Boom, boom, Beck from the game in Philadelphia at the Baker Bowl. The frustrated Beck turns and fires the baseball at the tin wall in right field. Dodgers outfielder Hack Wilson not paying attention to the fact that the manager had gone out to the hill. That's 3-0. Here's the ball.
Wait a minute, what was he doing?
I don't know. He runs over to the baseball, retrieves it, and fires a strike to second base to prevent the imaginary runner from advancing. Nice play, Hack.
Except the runner wasn't advancing because, yeah.
Right. Here's the 3-0 on Drew, and that's not close. Boy, a 4-pitch walk to Stephen Drew, and now the tying run is aboard. And you have Alex Romero at the plate. This will be the final hitter for Embry, you would assume. The next couple are right-handed bats, Upton and Reynolds. Rincon has to be ready. He's been tossing for a while. Aaron Cook went 5+, then dove to make a stop on a comebacker. That bunt, chance for Iannetta to get the force. He will. Good play by Chris. He came flying out of the chute. Drew in it hard. Make sure Tulowitzki's okay.
Absolutely, he did. Rubber cleats on. He came in and caught him right on that ankle. He got it last night. You're going to get a little nod to the dugout that he's fine. Well, here's the look. I mean, it's soft out in front of the home plate area. Iannetta pounced on this thing, and then the throw kind of tailed right at the last second, and that's where he got him right on the shin. So look and see when he comes in there if it's plastic. Yeah, it's hard plastic, but it's plastic. I mean, he went after him, got both of them.
So 1 out. Romero switches places with Drew. Jim Tracy's going to go take the baseball from Alan Embry. Juan Rincon is going to come in. Rockies trying to preserve a 1-run lead in the 7th. Face Justin Upton with Alex Romero at first base and 1 out. This will be the 5th appearance for Rincon. Last time we saw him, George, he was outstanding.
He was outstanding. Relied on that hard slider to get people out. He's pitched 3 2/3 innings so far. He has struck out 3. He's walked 3. 5th game for him to appear on. He's got a tough customer, 2 in a row, Upton and then Reynolds. Flores back up throwing for the Rockies in their bullpen.
Well, the Rockies clubhouse reporting that the reason Aaron Cook was removed from the game, he had the wind knocked out of him. And he dove for that ball, and he did come down hard. He has on occasion, like a lot of pitchers, battled tightness in the lower back from time to time. Inside on Upton, ball one. Henry Cohn in that extra inning affair at Dodger Stadium on Monday pitched a scoreless ninth. He inherited a runner who did not score. Really did a good job, as George said, working the slider. 2-0 now on Upton.
Well, I need to go out to talk to him right now. Well, don't forget about the Braves coming to town, and on July 10th, if you're one of the first 5,000 through the gates, you're going to receive a Brad Hop T-shirt courtesy of FSN Rocky Mountain. So purchase tickets to that ball game and go to one of the ticket outlets, or just hop online at ColoradoRockies.com. Crowd's gotten way too quiet. 49,000 people. Need to perk up, get behind the Rockies defense and a pitcher just as much as you do the offensive side of things when it starts to happen.
This is one, George, you want to get them all, but this is one you really want to get, because tomorrow you have a great pitching matchup.
Yeah,
Ubaldo Jimenez going, Dodgers lost. Ubaldo Jimenez going for the Rockies, but he's drawing as tough a card as you could draw right now in the National League. Dan Herring.
Yeah, look at his record, 7-5, but an earned run average of 2.19. He's only walked 15 batters in 115 innings. How about that?
2-2. Cohn favors the slider, particularly in this situation. 2-2 to Upton, and it's fouled off. That was the slider.
Well, and again, if you've got movement on that fastball, or you're comfortable running the hard sinker under the hands, because you do have that reputation of the hard slider or a slider you're going to throw. You're getting off a little better shape here if you could run something with a wrinkle, a little velocity to it underneath the hands. Pretty good speed at first, good speed at the plate.
Ground ball to third. Chance for two. There's a great feed and a good feed to help. 5-4-3 around the horn. Stewart to Barmes to help. And the Rockies work out of it. Middle seven. Stretch time at Coors Field. 4-3 Rockies. We're going to stick around for a moment. Let's check in again with Mark Stout. Mark?
Drew, as we mentioned, 70 years ago, Lou Gehrig was diagnosed with ALS. It's a disease that carries his name, and to this day, it's a disease that has no cure. And that's why this year, Major League Baseball has teamed up with the logo that you're going to see for ALS. It's been on the scorecards, it's on the Rockies and the jerseys, it's even on first base. And each first baseman has signed the bag, and it will be auctioned off at a later date to promote the research into this disease that, as I said, to this day does not have a cure. And we are about to hear from Howard Weiss, who is a usher here at Coors Field, and earlier this year was diagnosed with ALS, as he is about to do the Lou Gehrig speech from 70 years ago today at Yankee Stadium, when 61,808 were on hand. Let's join the PA announcer now here at Coors Field.
July 4th, 1939. On the field tonight to read an abbreviated version of Lou Gehrig's famous speech is Howard Weiss. Howard is in his 15th season as the Coors Field left field club level supervisor. He was also recently diagnosed with ALS. Please welcome Howard Weiss.
Fans, for the past 2 weeks, you have been reading about the bad break that I got. Yet today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of this earth. I have been in ballparks for 17 years and have never received anything but kindness and encouragement from you fans. Look at these grand men. Which of you wouldn't consider the highlight of his career just to associate with them for even one day? Sure, I'm lucky. When the New York Giants, a team you would give your right arm to beat, and vice versa, sends you a gift, that's something. When everybody down to the groundskeepers and those boys in white coats remember you with trophies, that's something. When you have a wonderful mother-in-law who takes sides with you in squabbles with her own daughter, that's really something. When you have a father and a mother who work all their lives so you can have an education and build your body, it's a blessing. When you have a wife who has been a tower of strength and shown more courage than you dreamed existed, that's the finest I know. So, in closing, that I may have had a tough break, I have an awful lot to live for. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our thanks to Mr. Howard Weiss. Sergeant Aaron Miles. Please welcome back Master Sergeant Miles and join him by singing along to God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairie, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
for Juan Rincon. Nice job by Rincon last inning, inducing that ground ball double play. Gutierrez throws a slider for a strike. Second inning of work for Juan Gutierrez.
Nice job by Rincon to come in out of that inning and get the double play ball after a steady diet of sliders. He went hard sinker in. He got just that double play ball.
Steven Drew up with it and throws out Spilboards.
Center fielder.
Windshield chipped or cracked, don't wait. Call Colorado's #1 team, Elite Safelite Auto Glass, 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com. There is Joel Peralta. He's been the primary setup guy the last few weeks for Houston Street.
Now, the guy that wasn't on anybody's radar at the start of the season was down at AAA. Working out back in spring training with the AAA ball club, and they've got an opportunity to come here and has really become a vital part of the success of that bullpen.
Rockies have 2 base runners since the 3rd inning when they scored 3 times. They'd love to add some insurance. Fowler shortened up, didn't offer, was in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got the attention of Mark Reynolds naturally. He was already on the grass, and then he came charging. Fowler 0 for 2 and a walk. Robbed of a hit his last time up. He had a sinking line drive that Justin Upton made a shoestring catch on. Rockies last night got their 5th shutout of the year. Team record's 8. They did that last year on 3 other occasions. And another bunt attempt. This time he offered. 2 and 2. Dex thought he pulled it back, but Scott Barry, I think, accurately said he offered at it. So it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Three and 2. 2 teams playing each other, George, playing Washington and Atlanta playing each other. The next 2 teams the Rockies will face. Washington beat Atlanta 5-3 tonight. Milwaukee over the Cubs 11-2 at Wrigley. Here's the 3-2. Line drive foul.
Well, the Nationals and the Diamondbacks and even Atlanta's playing a little bit better baseball now. You can't think that they're just going to lay down. They're Major League Baseball teams. You've got to be ready to put the hammer down when they get here.
You know what, George? Wonderful, wonderful point. You would know it well. You played at this level for a long period of time. Chris Iannetta was asked about this homestand by a reporter, and he said, you know what? This is the big leagues. The difference between a team doing really well and a team maybe not doing well, that's ball 4, is not a huge disparity. And you know, Chris saying basically what you just said, George. I mean, yeah, the Washington Nationals have struggled this year, but guess what? They put a good arm on the hill. They got guys that are as talented just about as any place you're going to find. Well, and if you don't play really well, you're going to get beat.
I go back to, did you think the Tampa Bay Devil Rays would have been in the, or Tampa Bay Rays would have been in the World Series last year? No. Do you think the Colorado Rockies would have been the year before? No. Anybody can beat anybody on any given day or night, and that's the way you have to take and approach every game.
Yeah, it's not like Southern Cal playing, you know, a directional school in early September in football. Look at it. Where there's very little chance of that directional school, George, to win. A little different deal at this level. 1 ball, no strikes on Barmes. Fowler at first, staring down Richie Dower. Worked a perfect hit and run back in the 3rd. Fowler scored on a double by Barmes. Dex very close. He was leaning. Hard throwing Tony Pena getting loose. Two and 0. Well, you put something on here, George?
Well, you know, you start to look at that and you're thinking, all right, 2-0 count, right? I mean, you kind of got an action type count at the plate. You got a guy that can do it with the bat at the plate. You're not going to throw the ball by him. 2-1 count. I think the one thing I see teams do, not just Rockies, I say teams, they're so concerned about running out of an inning. Does that make sense? You know, versus let's go ahead and keep things in motion, what we did the first 6 innings.
There goes Fowler. Look out. Montero's got no chance. '15 stolen base for Dexter, and scoring position now for Barmes.
Big jump ball way up into the air. Had to grab it. No shot at all.
Hilton on deck. Ojeda trying to keep Fowler close. And this is popped up, foul ground, and playable.
Careful, you don't have anybody backing up. Not a wise throw from Chad Tracy. Jogged the ball back in again, because if that ball gets by Mark Reynolds, you got to run. It's not a smart throw.
Time for the Home Depot doing more on defense. Miguel Montero holds on to the baseball and absorbs the hit from Todd Helton. A great relay from Steve and Drew. So Home Depot doing more on defense. Todd Helton's clump coming up. And Gutierrez is not going to have the opportunity to face him. They're going to go get the left-hander to face Helton. 4-3 Rockies, 2 outs in the 7th. .4-3 Rockies, bottom of the 7th inning. Time to get you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Rockies up 4-3, 2 outs in the 7th. Dexter Fowler at second base, Todd Helton at the plate, and Scott Schoenweis into the ball game. 28th appearance, the 9th since coming off the bereavement list on June 8th. He has suffered an unspeakable tragedy when his wife on May 20th, Gabrielle, was found dead in their home in Phoenix while Scott was with the Diamondbacks on a road trip in Florida. I begin to imagine what that man is going through and has gone through over the last 6 weeks. 1-0 on top. This ball is hit down the left field line. It's twisting into the crowd. Foul. 1-1. The veteran left-hander. Pitched in the big leagues for a number of years. One and one on top. And the ball is pulled foul. So it's 1-2.
Schoenweis still throws the ball pretty well. It was up to 90 with this last fastball. He'll feature a slider. He'll drop down occasionally on pitches. Try to take it out of the strike zone.
Helton this year hitting an even .300 against lefties. Helton's 2 for 7 lifetime, as you see there, against Scott Schoenweis. A run at second be real nice to have cross home plate.
Great protection swing on just a slider completely out of the strike zone, much like the other side of when you go back to Clint Barnes that hit and run. Ankle high, a foot out of the plate. He kept in fair territory. Not a hit and run here, but just to make contact on the ball. Dexter, if he hits this really hard, be ready to run really fast.
I don't think there'll be a problem with that. Here's the 1-2 again, and Todd, like a magician. I mean, there aren't many guys that can intentionally foul off all the nasty stuff.
Fun to watch play the game. Fun to watch him hit, field everything, and it comes his first base way. So many big base hits.
Fowler takes off, and Helton swings through the fastball. So 7 innings done at Coors Field on the 4th of July. The Rockies ahead 4-3. of the best fireworks displays in the nation, and it's live tonight after the ball game. They're getting ready right now. I think they're all ready. They're just hanging out. You can see it high definition right here on FSN Rocky Mountain. Drew Goodman, George Frazier, Mark Stout. We go to the top of the 8th inning. The Rockies ahead 4-3. Joel Peralta will throw the 8th inning. Mark Reynolds, Miguel Montero, and Gerardo Parra.
15 punch outs. That's the one thing he does. Relies a lot on that split finger, left hand, right hand. So when you say 8th inning guy, you don't worry about it.
Hey, George, that's a big number 1 right there.
He jumped all over that first fastball at 91, and Peralta gets the first out.
Well, we mentioned Mark Stout a moment ago. Let's see what he's up to, Mark.
Drew, across America, it's about the red, white, and blue. Today in Boston, it's about the red, white, and Bay. Jason Bay, on the Red Sox off day on Thursday, was sworn in as a U.S. citizen. He now has dual citizenship. He was born in Canada. His wife and kids are American. He met her in Eastern Washington. They live in Seattle. He was one of among 360 people in the ceremony at famous Faneuil Hall in Boston. Now, you may remember David Ortiz did a similar thing last year in June, and Manny Ramirez did it back in 2004. I think he ran around Fenway with a flag. He had to answer 6 of 10 questions right. He crammed for the citizenship test when they were in Florida playing the Marlins, and there was a 2.5-hour rain delay. So he said he aced it, except you have to prove you can read and write in English. And I guess the guy that was doing the test said to him, "Right, when is Columbus Day?" And he froze up because he didn't know when Columbus Day was, and the guy said, no, you don't have to answer it. All you have to do is write in English, when is Columbus Day. So Jason Bay is now a citizen of the United States. A nice story here on the 4th of July, guys.
All right, Mark, thank you for that. Among other baseball notables, Albert Pujols, not all that long ago, sworn in as a U.S. citizen. It is 1-2 with 1 out on Miguel Montero.
Asking for the breaking ball or split down in the dirt. See, I had a pat in that dirt.
That was left up, and this is line to right. And it's going to be a 1-hopper off the scoreboard. Hop will throw to second, but a double for Montero. So the tying run in scoring position as Parra comes up.
He wanted this ball down into the dirt area. Didn't want anything up. He said, go ahead and bounce it. I'll keep it out in front of me. So you're going to watch Iannetta give the sign for the split finger. See right there? He's patting down on the ground. He's wanting that ball down here in this area. You see the location of this pitch was up in the strike zone. Not down. It was a flat split finger.
Parra 2 for 3. He reached on an error his last time up. That was a little comeback there. Aaron Cook dove for, knocked the wind out of Aaron, and from his knees he threw it wildly past Todd Helton, and Parra ended up at third, and he scored the Diamondbacks' 3rd run. Montero does not run well. So on a base hit, the Rockies outfielders would have a shot at him.
Come support the Rockies wives as they host the annual grab bag for charity event July 10th and 11th, supporting the Children's Miracle Network. Stop by section 132 for $40. You'll get an autographed mystery bag. It could be Jim Tracy, the manager, or one of the players. So if you purchase 4 grab bags, you can choose another mystery bag containing the items signed by a former Rocky player. 132 is the section to participate.
1 ball and 1 strike on Parra. Iannetta sets up away, and the fastball is not offered out. It's 2 balls and a strike. Maybe we saw Parra during spring training, and we do a couple of split broadcasts with our friends on the Diamondback side. Mark Grace was in our booth, and he was talking about Parra, saying how much he liked his swing. Mark Grace knows a thing or two about hitting. Here's the 2-1, and it's 3-1. Chad Tracy's on deck. 3-2. 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, that's about his range, 90 to 93, but he'll set 91, 92. When he gets it down in his zone, really creates some pretty good movement.
See if he can make a pitch here on Parra. Line drive, and this is going to be a tweener. It's going to tie up the game. Parra's had a big night with an RBI double as Montero scores, and it's a 4-4 ball game. You know, the Rockies scored 4 quick in this ball game, but they have not added on. And the Diamondbacks have chipped away. A run in the 4th, a run in the 5th, a run in the 6th, and they get even here in the 8th.
Fastball, trying to run it to that outer half with some sink to it. And again, Parra been very impressive tonight with the bat. A couple of singles this double. He has scored a run and driven in a run now. 25 RBIs. But that ball in left center field. They'll walk Tracy. Ojeda will flip around and hit left-handed. Obviously, you like the chances of getting Ojeda out versus Tracy with what Tracy has done at Coors Field compared to Ojeda. Flores already thrown a couple of times. Daly, the right-hander, getting right up with him. A tie ball game, you start to look at the 9th inning. The Street will throw the 9th if it's still tied. That's that kind of standard of what you do with a closer in the National League. What you've got to be semi-careful of is getting into that extra innings where you look back, but you got to shut down that offense of the Diamondbacks and do it quickly.
Tonight's high-speed pitch is brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet. Aaron Cook hit 94. And Joel Peralta has hit 93. Brought to you by Quest High-Speed Internet. So Ojeda up, 1 out, 2 on. The go-ahead run at second base.
Lopez,
and now
just called it back.
Felipe Lopez is going to switch hit. None of this a surprise to Jim Tracy.
Well, it's really not.
A step ahead. He's got to figure that, okay, he's going to play the Lopez card at some point, and he still has Chris Young. And Young has come out on deck. Lopez has been a 300 hitter all year for Arizona.
Lopez 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter on the season. Typically, he's in the lineup every day.
1 strike count, and it's 0-2. Well, the one thing, I shouldn't say the one thing, George, but one of the things that has impressed me about Peralta is the situation never gets too big for him.
Well, he stays pretty calm through this. He's had an opportunity to have success up here now, gain an awful lot of confidence. Confidence shown by Tracy, by Apodaca, leads to success. And again, we talked about this last night. If you know what the lineup's going to be every day and you're in that lineup every day, you're going to have success. Same as the bullpen. When Bob Apodaca was still here when Tracy took it over, the guys' assignments down in the bullpen became much clearer. With Trace, this is my guy here, here, and here. And you know, if the long guy happens to be Fogg right now and throwing a long time, starters are doing well. Yeah, it's kind of being the long guy.
Inside, 2-2. Montero at second, Tracy at first. And now it runs full. You see pitchers do this, George. You get ahead 0-2, and then you try to be so fine. Next thing you know, you're behind.
Well, they try to get guys to chase. And so you miss with your fastball a little bit off. That the other fastball prior to that try for the strikeout was they wanted inside corner. I am a firm believer that you don't ask a guy to go to his weakness to get an out. You go to his strength. If it's the split finger, go to it regardless what the count is. There's the fastball, just missed off the plate. Lopez will walk. Come up to Young now.
Bases loaded. Chris Young coming up. Look how close this pitch was.
Yeah, it really was. You could tell this on the Hyundai cam that Iannetta just barely had to get off the kneecap to catch the ball. It just missed.
And now you have a guy who runs exceptionally well at the plate. The good news is he hits from the right side, and Chris Young. 4-4 ball game with one out and the bases loaded. With the run added here by Arizona, Aaron Cook will not figure in the decision. Ball one on Young.
See, a lot of times when you come off the bench as a pinch hitter, you're thinking fastball first pitch, particularly late in ball games, so then you're going to work ahead. They try to counter that with the split finger on that last pitch that Young laid off of.
Young's got a good eye. On this road trip, he's 1 for 7, but he has 6 walks. Last night, he was 1 for 2 with a pair of walks.
1 for 8 as a pinch hitter on the season.
This ball is lined to deep left field. Gonzalez going back, can't get it. It's going to score at least 2. And now a green light. Here's the throw to the plate. Rockies have a chance to get the out at the plate. Safe. He never tagged him. Chris Iannetta missed the tag on Lopez. It's a 3-run double. And the Rockies trail 7-4. That ball beat Lopez by 15 feet.
Don't know why that tag wasn't applied, but one of the biggest hits Young's had all year comes here at Coors Field. I don't have an explanation for the missed tag. We're going to look at it one more time. Here's the slider. See the ball spinning away from him, an extension of the bat, and out over the left fielder's head. Gonzalez, he's going to field it off the wall. The throw to Tulowitzki on one hop. A perfect throw into Iannetta. It beat him by a long distance. Do you think Iannetta maybe was anticipating the runner trying to run him over? See, it's almost like he brought it in to brace himself like this. He brought the ball in and then went back out to tag. I don't know. That's what it appeared. The Rockies trail now 7-4 with 4 in the 8th. it was there because his focus and concentration was on receiving the baseball. Then when he caught it, he slapped the ground. He said, "Oh, he isn't here yet." See, now watch right here. He's going to catch it, slap the ground, and then pull it back in, anticipating a collision, and tried to put the foot out and then applied the tag. And by then, Lopez had gotten the foot over the top of the bat.
Randy Flores on to face Stephen Drew. 7-4 Arizona. They scored 7 unanswered. The good news, the Rockies still have 6 outs to work with offensively. A rare tough inning for Joel Peralta, who's been very good. Yeah, they teach catchers get real small on a collision. And I think you described that accurately. I think Chris put the tag down, and the man wasn't there yet, and then he pulled it up, anticipating maybe a collision, and that's when the foot slid in. Kind of a strange sequence. This ball is hit a ton to right center field by Drew, and this is gone. Arizona just wearing out the Rockies here in the 8th inning. It's a 6-run inning. It's now 9-4. And you go back to something we chatted about an inning ago. They're a major league team. They may be 18 games under 500, but they're perfectly capable if you don't make pitches.
Hey, anytime you put a major league uniform on, you still have the pride factor. Yeah, I mean, you get tired of getting beat and getting embarrassed. This ball club only 2 games under 500 out on the road, yet 20 under overall. So they played well on the road, and Drew just adds a little more insult to injury there. Takes a Flores hook and out into their bullpen. Well, one of the few times the Rockies bullpen has faltered the way it has here.
And it's 2-0 on Alex Romero. What a night for Stephen Drew. Triple double, walk, 2-run home run. Start of the night, we said it doesn't look right seeing Stephen Drew hit 243. He's got too good a swing.
He had 243 his rookie year, then 291 last year, and then this year, you know, again, has struggled a little bit. Second year in the big leagues, he was very good.
The first man up this inning, you figured to be the most dangerous. Mark Reynolds, he popped up on the first pitch.
First pitch out to Tulowitzki in shallow left field.
Then Montero behind the count 1-2, a split left up, doubles. Parra on a 2-2 fastball, doubles. Chad Tracy intentionally walked. Then Lopez behind in the count 0-2, 4 straight out of the zone. Borderline pitch on 3-2. He walks. Now the bases are loaded, and Chris Young spit on the first pitch, and then got a slider he walloped.
And Young knows 2 for 8 at the time. Here's a strikeout. And Romero will, and it'll throw on the Todd Helton. But at the time, Chris Young was 1 for 8 with 1 RBI before he hit that double.
6-run inning for Arizona, ties their season high in an inning. Justin Upton, the 9th man to hit in the inning. Upton's 0 for 4. Rockies were cruising along. After 3, they were up 4-0. They have their ace on the mound, Aaron Cook. Now, a few innings later, it is 9-4 Diamondbacks. Another crowd in excess of 49,000. Very disappointed in the turn of events.
You got to get the dugout. Yep, get the strikeout of Upton. Now you just got to get in the dugout, get busy, and you got to get some runs on the board. Hop will lead it off, then followed by Tulowitzki and Stewart.
6 runs in the inning for Arizona. Chris Young, the big blow, a bases clearing double. the 8th inning. The Rockies with plenty of work to do now. A reminder, when the Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to Taco Bell, your participating Colorado locations, and get 4 tacos for $1 with the purchase of a drink the following day. Only 1 order per customer. Felipe Lopez pinch hit for Augie Ojeda, so he goes into the position he plays virtually every day, second base. And the new pitcher is a left-hander who's done a terrific job, Clay Zavada.
With the lead facing left-hander, he's got a good fastball. He saw it right there, 88, but he ran it right up underneath the hands. Not able to jump out of the way. That's the last thing you need to have him coming in. 20 games, 0.48 earned run average, 18 2/3. He has the Raleigh Fingers mustache. Anybody notice that? He's got the big handlebars, started growing a year ago.
Zavada is a very interesting guy. Has an interesting background. Swung on and missed 1 and 2. He's from Streator, Illinois. He grew up on a farm. He lost his mom at a young age. He helped run the farm with his dad, and then he lost his dad a couple of years ago. And so he hung up the baseball spikes. He was in professional baseball in the Diamondbacks organization. Did not play in 2007. He tended to the farm. And the Diamondbacks convinced him to come out of retirement. And part of the condition for Zavada, he said, I will come out, but I want to pitch at South Bend, which is close to Streator, Illinois, close enough that he could get back to the farm and make sure things were in working order. And he moved along and made it to the big leagues. And he still lives back home in Streator. And the 3-2 is grounded foul.
First time the Rockies guys have had a long look at him. See what he can do. They have the right-handers warming up. Pena was down there. Is that correct? Yeah, Pena was down there warming up earlier, so they may have the lefty here to face the Pop. Hopefully get him. He's going to walk him. A lead-off walk with a 5-run lead. Not what you want to have happen.
I'll bring up Tulowitzki. A little bit more on Zavada's story. When he lost his dad a couple of years ago to a heart attack, one of the reasons as well that he sat out, his dad wanted his son to get his degree, and so he went back and finished at Southern Illinois Edwardsville, finished his degree, and then the following year was convinced by Arizona to continue his baseball career. That's right, a brother serving in the Navy, which to him was a further pressure to keep the farm going. Good story. That's in there for a strike. 1-1 on Tulowitzki. And George in a bullpen that has been much maligned. He's been the shining light.
Well, their bullpen tonight, 3 innings.
Been good to see.
And very good to see.
Get out of play, it will.
Four innings, 2 hits they've given up tonight. A couple of walks now with this walk by Zavada. Only 1 strikeout, but they've been able to handle traffic.
Strike 3 on Troy.
Fastball had a little bit of a late cut to it, down and in. Troy giving an earful to Scott Barrett. Disappointed too with what's going on in this ball game, and they're now disappointed by the pitch. Thought it was a little in, thought it was down. See how far outstretched the arm of Montero is. Watch him go out and meet the baseball to keep it into the strike zone. See why you got a little disagreement.
Ian Stewart at the plate. Stewart tonight, a 2-run double in the third. He's 1 for 3. Stewart just 1 for his last 25 till that base hit against left-handed pitching. Now 2 for 26.
Well, you'd think Zaveda would be a guy with his delivery who would be tough on left-handers. Well, left-handers had hit .323 prior to the walk and the hit here. Right-handers just a .158. He's yet to give up an earned run in Phoenix. His earned run average over 96 out on the road. A lot of things are going to help these younger pitchers in the organization. And the reason I say that, folks, that guy you just saw on the mound there, Mel Stoudemire Jr. His dad, a longtime big league pitching coach and very successful pitcher, he has been the minor league field the coordinator for pitching. So he knows all of these young kids, and it's going to make it a little easier on them to make the move to the top. A.J. Hinch is obviously a big fan of the minor league system. He ran it.
Two-strike count on Iannetta. 2 on, 1 out in the 8th inning. This ball toward right center field. Upton cruising over, makes the catch. Garrett Atkins is going to come out pinch hit for Carlos Gonzalez. See the splits for Garrett, 275 against left-handed pitching. First appearance on the homestand, didn't play last night. Hit 400 on the road trip, including a home run. His last home run at Coors Field came on April 25th against the Dodgers. Ball and a strike on Atkins. Seth Smith has a bat. He's in the on-deck circle now. It's been a long time, George, since the Rockies were down by this many in a ball game. Go back to Anaheim, that ball game they lost 12-4. They got away from it.
There's only been 2 hiccups in the last really month. One being the ball game you're talking about in Anaheim.
One in Anaheim got away from them early. They were never really in it. This one, Rockies up 4-0 with Aaron Cook on the hill. You got to feel real good about your chances of shaking hands at the end of the ball game. 3-1 on Atkins. 3-2.
Sure, that he was talking about happened on June 22nd, 11-1 ball game. All right, they won that game and then lost 11-3. That was with the Angels.
Oh, I thought it was 12-4, 11-3. Okay.
11-3, and then they lost the ball game to Tampa here at home, 12-4.
Oh,
that's really the only two hiccups. Two hiccups that have happened to the Rockies over this long winning stretch and where they've played well.
It's fouled off. Runners moving on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. They'll come back. Well, you want to put heat on a team with a fragile psyche? Let Garrett go ahead and hit one out.
Yeah, why not? You want to see some people get busy in the bullpen. I think the only reason Zaveda has stayed on in this ball game is what he has done against right-handers versus left-handers. As I mentioned a minute ago, the lefties have hit .323, righties just a .158.
In the air down the right field line, and Upton's going to run out of room. Justin's done with that little corner. One time he went to retrieve a ball down there, got caught in a puddle.
A lake.
Yeah, next time he just ran full speed into the padded wall. But when you're 21, you recover quickly.
Yeah.
Ball 4. Now the bases are loaded for Seth Smith.
And obviously, you know, with Zaveda on the mound, he's created his own nightmare, loading the bases up.
Smith 3 for 10 against lefties this year. Hop walked, Stewart singled, Atkins just walked a moment ago. The only right-handed hitter left on the Rockies bench is their backup catcher, Yorvi Torrealba. And this is the guy you want up. And a line drive, base hit. This should bring 2 home. Here comes Stewart. The throw to the plate, almost over the head of the catcher. Seth Smith, the premier pinch hitter in the game. He's unreal. And the Rockies are now down 3.
Well, look at this on the fastball. Look dead red. First pitch coming at you, and it's a ball away from him from Zaveda, and Hinch is going to have to make a move. The lefty comes in, and after walking a couple and a base hit to the left-handed hitting Ian Stewart, he gives up a base hit to Smith, a left-hander, to drive in 2. The Rockies cut this lead up a little bit. Now it's 9-6.
What a minute in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Tony Pena comes on. 2 outs in the 8th inning. 2 runs in. Seth Smith in the pinch this year with that last hit is now 11 for 24 with 6 RBIs. Dexter Fowler with 2 runners on. Rockies down 9-6. That misses ball 1. I said it a moment ago, if things get tight, this Arizona Diamondbacks team, and particularly their bullpen, have a very fragile psyche. A record of 31-49 through 80 ball games will do that. 1-1. One and 2. Atkins at second, Smith at first. There's an enormous gap in right center field. They shade Fowler against Pena, who throws very hard toward left. That's a pitch you got to stay off of. They've been working Fowler and Gonzalez consistently in there, especially with that slider.
One of the most unusual things, the Rockies 39-4 with a lead after 7, so you come into the 8th inning when they gave up those 6 runs. The Diamondbacks record with a lead after 8.
There's a base hit to left, and it's bobbled for a moment. Here comes Atkins to the plate. He's going to score as Romero didn't field it cleanly. I think Richie Dower was going to stop Atkins because the ball was hit so hard. But then when it was fumbled, it allowed Atkins to score. It's a 2-run game with Clint Barnes coming up.
Well, I would agree with you. This is on the Hyundai cam. You're going to see him slice this right out between shortstop and third base. Nice job of keeping the hands quiet by Dexter Fowler. Once he strided out on that front foot, then he shot it to the left side. And the catch made, and the throw very wild out of line here. Now A.J. Hinch is going back out again.
Probably going to go get Qualls.
And Roush. Yep, he may have to have a 3-out, 4-out type save. That's going to be it for Pena.
In save opportunities. They're going to ask him to try to pick up 4 outs. The Rockies have scored 3 here in the inning. Fowler just knocked in the 7th run. Barmes, who is 2 for 4, including a home run and an RBI double, is at the plate to face Qualls.
Qualls has inherited 9 base runners on the season. 3 have scored. He's 13 of 17 in save opportunities. Heavy sink, good fastball, hard slider to go with it. 2 for 4. Drew just mentioned about Clint Barmas. Season average at 277 in his career versus Qualls. 0 for 8. He's due. Thinking about a double steal with the Rockies down 2. Good speed out at second. Excellent speed at first.
Outfield backs way up to play no doubles. That helps out here at Coors Field. Clint Barmas has been known to hit a flare or 2. That's in there for a strike.
Yeah, he really has, and you're right. I mean, they are back against the wall. This is some of the deepest outfield play we've seen of any team. Obviously late in the game, though, trying to keep the ball from getting over their heads.
Oh, 1 pulled foul. Well, many a manager has said it's not the balls going over the wall at Coors Field that get you. It's the ones that fall in front of the outfielders.
Particularly after the walks in an inning, and Zavada had 2 walks in this inning to help create more of a mess, and then a couple of singles, and then here you go.
0-2 on Barmas. He's got to spread out, shorten up, and protect. Smith and Fowler aboard. And there's that
flare swing.
That flare swing. I mean, you know what? Hey, Barmas finds a way. He battles, and a lot of times,
better believe it.
George, as you know, a lot of times he gets out on that front foot on breaking stuff, and he'll just kind of chip the ball toward right field.
Yeah, he did it on a hit and run earlier in the game. First hit, he just dumped it out into right field.
Well, that worked right here. Upton's backed up. They set up away. And here's a soft line drive that's gloved by Drew. Off the bat, it got everybody up. But it came off the end of the bat. In the inning, the Rockies have made it interesting. Seth Smith, a pinch single, 3 runs come around. It's a 2-run ball game going to the 9th. Get a real happy 4th. They're down 9-7. They were down 9-4 at the start of the inning. Actually, let's go back to Arizona and how they took the lead. They tied it up on that double. And then with the bases loaded, pinch hitter Chris Young doubles to deep left center field. That scored everybody. And they weren't done. Steven Drews had an enormous night. A 2-run shot to the bullpen. But then the Rockies battled back. Seth Smith pinch hitting, line shot to left center field. That brought home a couple of runs. And then Dexter Fowler behind in the count. Rips a base hit to left. Garrett Atkins would score. Seth Smith stays in the ball game. He's in left field, and Matt Daly is the new pitcher. Mark Reynolds swings and misses. Another sellout, 49,096. Last night, the official attendance, 49,026. So for those 70 that made it tonight, thank you. Quickly 0-2. The Rockies in the bottom of the 9th inning against Qualls will have Helton, Hop, Tulowitzki, and hopefully others. And Qualls against left-handed hitters, George, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but lefties are hitting .328 against them.
Well, that is a little bit. I mean, you got to think about that part of it, and to where the Rockies are in their lineup. Helton, Hop, and Tulowitzki, it all sets up good for the Rockies.
And then Stewart would be next after that. But again, you got to have a clean inning here. Keep it a 2-run deficit. Here's the 1-2 to Reynolds. And it's a fly ball to center field. Easy play for Fowler. I'll bring up Miguel Montero. Two doubles tonight for Montero, 2 for 4. He's robbed of a hit in the first inning, actually in the second inning, by Ian Stewart. You know, watching him the last couple of years, George, I always preferred not to see him pinch hit.
Not pinch hit and come up when they need runs and they need a hit, regardless whether he's in the game or not, or whether he's pinch hitting. Particularly pinch hit 7th, 8th, 9th inning, particularly 8th and 9th.
He's a good hitter.
Big hits, big clutch hits.
Yep.
Kind of like Seth Smith's doing for the Rockies right now.
There's the 1-1 on Montero. Boy, oh boy, you got to have that one. It looked like he painted the outside corner knee high. 2-1.
I like Daly's approach. Get the ball, get right back on the mound. Yeah, should have strike 3. Yeah, you get it? No, but I'm going to come right back at you. Everything Daly throws typically is down around the knees with some kind of a sink or a slide to it. A little bit of an unorthodox type stance and delivery to the plate, yet it's very effective for Daly.
Here's the 2-2. 3-2. Gerardo Parra.
What a night he's had too. A couple of singles, a double, scored 2 runs.
And Miguel Montero works out a 1-out walk. Parra's been on all 4 times. One time because of an error. Single, reached on an error and scored, and an RBI double and scored last inning. To left field, long run for Seth Smith, and he slides and didn't make the catch. Montero going to third, and going into second base is Parra.
I'm not sure he needed to slide, to be honest with you. Let's look at it one more time. Soft fly ball out into left field. Smith's going to take off on the fly, and as he slid, it seemed like he whipped or just missed the glove. When it did, it just ricocheted off of it Yeah, ricocheted right off the glove. Apparently may have closed it a little bit early, and then it came right off the wall for him. But difficult spot for Daly now. Instead of one out and a runner on first, he's going to have the bases loaded and have to face Lopez with the bases loaded.
The Rockies were hoping to get right back to the dugout and get after Chad Qualls. And now they have to deal with a one-out bases loaded situation. We just got the official word. It's an error on Seth Smith in left field. That's the second error the Rockies have committed in the game. Aaron Cook had the other one. And now Jim Tracy. That'd be something if Jim Leland came out. Jim Tracy jogs to the mound. He wants the entire infield.
Well, he's setting it up right now to where he's going to go with the ball. All right. He's telling Tulowitzki, you get the ball short, I want you going. Barmas, you're going to just have to get the out. I mean, you can't allow any more runs to score here. It's 9-7 right now. You're down 2 with one out and a sinker baller on the mound. And Jim does this a lot. He'll go to the mound and explain exactly what he wants everybody to do, from the catcher all the way around the infield if the ball's hit to you. Lopez, by the way, with less than 2 outs, has hit .286 with the bases loaded. He had 7 opportunities to do that. Qualls in the on-deck circle will have to hit.
Montero at third, Parra at second, Tracy at first. Now you got to step off the back. Daylight play wasn't there. You got to make sure your shortstop's not out of position. Lopez has decent speed. He's not a flyer.
Yeah, right now he's a very experienced hitter. In his mind now, he's just trying to lift the ball in the air deep enough to get the run from third. If it's a hit, that's even better.
And he's going to bounce it through the right side. That'll score 1. It'll score 2. Yeah, it's been a rough night for the Rockies bullpen. 6 in the 8th, 2 more here in the 9th. And the deficit is 4 again.
Yep, that's a high hop, gets right through. The Helton holding tight over there. Barmas a little bit short on the ball to try to turn the double play ball. Not able to get it done. They add to their totals after the Rockies threw 3 back at them. They threw 2 more here in the 9th.
So Chad Qualls getting his second at bat of the year.
Trying to lay down a bunt. Not very experienced at doing it. Most relievers aren't. They just don't want to get asked to do it.
He's gone on 3 attempts. Now it's his 6th career at bat. And now the hitting star, one of them for Arizona tonight, Stephen Drew. He's a single shy of the cycle. Triple in the third, double in the fifth. Walked in the seventh, 2-run home run in the eighth. Two and 0. Two more in the inning for Arizona. The Rockies in the bottom of the ninth will need a significant rally. They trail at 11-7. Helton, Hop, and Tulowitzki, the first three. They'll need friends behind them. Chad Quall's got the final out of the eighth inning. He got a flare off the bat of Clint Barmas to his shortstop, Stephen Drew. It's a 2-run ball game. As you can see, Quall's been very good at Coors Field. And then Arizona added 2 last inning on just 1 hit.
Well, amazingly, Scott Schoenweiss came in and threw 1/3 of an inning, and it stands to be the winner.
And this is this will be a save for Qualls if he gets the final 3 outs, because when he came in, George, it was a 2-run game.
Yeah, it was a 2-run ball game. Again, I mentioned he had inherited 9 runners, 3 had scored, 13 to 17 at save opportunity.
And Todd hits it in the air to Justin Upton. 1 out. That'll bring up Brad Hop. Brad's 2 for 3 and a walk this evening. Brad with a 1-0 count. And it's on the corner. Tomorrow's pitching matchup, Ubaldo Jimenez against Dan Herron. It does not figure to be 18 runs in that ball game, though with Aaron Cook on the hill, you didn't figure that There'd be 11 up there for Arizona. But Cook had to leave after entering the 6th inning. He gave up 3 runs, 2 earned. Significant damage against the Rockies bullpen tonight. And this ball lifted to left, long run, and it falls in foul territory as Alex Romero couldn't get there. Fouled off again. And a comebacker. Qualls grabs it. Goes Eddie Feigner style over to first, 2 outs.
So I think the one thing, when the Rockies gave up 6 in the 8th inning, that made it very difficult, obviously. But when they threw 3 back on the board, they were feeling, hey, we're back in this thing. It's 9-7. We got a shot. And then to give up 2 in the 9th on the error down the left field, the 2 walks, you know, and the 1 base hit, that makes it harder to get back up again when you go from 5 down and then all of a sudden you cut it to 2 and then it's back up to 4 again.
Yeah, it's a subtle thing. Nobody, as you know, George, nobody ever gives away in at bat. This goes up there and goes through the motions. But you know, when the adrenaline's flowing and you have real acute focus, when it's a 1-run game, 2-run game, it's a little different than you know, when it's all of a sudden 4 or 5.
Pitches are a little different.
Yeah. A little more pressure on that guy on the hill. San Diego beat the Dodgers tonight 7-4 in Petco. Giants won in shutout fashion behind Tim Lincecum. 9-0 at home against Houston. And that's the ball game. Well, this 4th of July did not go the Rockies' way as it has in recent years. The final score, the Diamondbacks 11 and the Rockies 7. Schoenweiss gets the win. Qualls gets his 14th save of the year.